Hello and welcome to the fourth episode of the Bits and Poos. I fucked it up already. Well, you did it, now I did it. The Bits and Poos Partycast, starring yours truly, Johnny Old School, and of course my man, Mr. Drowning in Footwear himself, Mr. Jesse Wood.
Piss and poos. That's
Yeah,
what we should call it.
Lots of piss and poo. The Piss and Poos Partycast. I'd listen to it. I might have been drinking tonight, guys. I might have. This episode of the Bits and Booze Partycast is sponsored by Playtex Male Tampons. Are you tired of shitting your pants after a long night of drinking scotch from the bottle and eating leftover tacos? With Playtex Male Tampons, you can ensure that you'll never again be caught unprepared for one of your heavy flow days. With their lubricated applicator and handlebar grip, Playtex promises easy insertion and comfortable removal. Whether you had Mexican for lunch and are worried about shirting in the car seat on the way home, or you woke up in Tijuana after 3 days of drinking tequila and having unprotected anal intercourse, the Playtex line of male tampons has you covered for light, medium, and heavy flows. Playtex Male Tampons. Strong enough for a woman, but made for a man.
You said it!
The Bitz and Booze Partycast, starring Jesse Wood
I made pancakes!
and Johnny Old School.
No one knows for sure, but I intend to find out.
The Bitz and Booze Partycast, the only podcast that calls your mom back the next day.
It's been a while since we kicked back with one of these little party casts, and it seems like there's been so many updates and adventures to share. We could just fucking go all over the place. I hate.
I went to Antarctica.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I went to fucking China. I think.
Really?
No. A shitty Chinese restaurant just now. I was in a lot better mood, guys, 2 hours ago when we were supposed to do this party cast, but I got stuck in a fucking Chinese restaurant for like 2 hours, like a Seinfeld episode. So now I'm here.
Well, that was going to happen eventually, right? It happens pretty much to everyone who does podcasts. Eventually, you're going to wind up in a Chinese restaurant, so...
Because we were talking, and we were like, okay, it's fucking party cast night, finally. We're going to do this. And then I realized it was 9/17. I'm like, oh shit, I have to go pick up my mom from work.
Yeah, you're like, I have to pick up my mom from work 17 minutes ago.
Yeah, I thought I was late, because she works at the fucking Chinese restaurant now, because my mom is fucking...
Chinese?
Because she's fucking 55 and still waiting tables, because we live in a third world hellhole called the United States of America, and that's just what life is here.
Oh.
But I fucking have to go pick up my mother at her work.
At least you have a mom. Oh, wait.
At least your mother didn't die in that freak alligator accident.
Actually, she did, but we sewed her back together.
Oh, thank God.
Yes.
Put some stuffing in her cooch.
Oh, Christ.
Like a taxiderm.
That's what my mom was talking about.
Taxiderm. Taxi perm. She's got Jufro. But anyways,
Jesus. So...
Yeah, so I thought I was late, so I went over to this restaurant, and then she's like, oh, no, I don't get out till an hour now, because it's Friday, so I sit there until 10, and then she's got a vacuum, and I'm just sitting in this restaurant alone until 10:40, and she's shoving all this Chinese food in my face, because I'm waiting there like, here, have some rice, and I'm like, I already ate. Shoving all this food in my face, Mom, I'm already obese, you don't need it, and she's shoving it, and she's just, God damn, I'm eating all this food, and I'm just feeling sick, and now I have to shit, and I'm sitting here watching her vacuum, and it's just miserable, and then I think we're finally going, and she gets in like an argument about like her pay with the lady who owns the Chinese restaurant, and she's sitting there debating about I need $10, you owe me $10 for like an hour, and I'm just pacing there back and forth, reading the signs, and I see this one sign, and it's like a change box to like donate quarters, and it says send a blind kid to camp, and my first thought was, oh, we're sending them to camps now.
Send a blind kid to like this concentration camp. Gotta get all the blind kids off the street. Just put them in a camp. We'll all be a lot happier. They won't know the difference. They're blind.
Yeah.
Like they're at Disneyland.
Fucking, I'm just sitting there, and this lady, she's talking. You can't understand what she's, something, I'm not racist, but something about that accent, just don't. Just don't. I hate it. Yeah, I can't. It's just
racist.
It's the one accent I can't understand. I mean, Jackie Chan I can understand because he's a good man. But you fucking, I mean, she's talking all this shit.
So if you like the person, you can understand them better.
Yes.
I think there's some deeper truth to that.
I think
cosmic lesson
that's
there.
how all human interaction is when you get right down to it.
Yeah, actually, that's actually true.
But I'm just sitting there, And it's been fucking hours, and I go home and I have to poop, and I'm fucking cold because we live in goddamn Michigan, because it's fucking freezing. I hate the fucking winter. I hate the fucking cold so much. Whatever fucking idiotic Neanderthal motherfucker caveman came up here and decided to fucking settle for generations upon generations. I wish I could go back in time and shove a fucking cactus up his nose. I hate the motherfuckers who decided to settle here and decided to make my cursed bloodline go throughout the ages so that I could be cursed to live in this frozen Arctic white lands of Empathica hellhole tundra. It makes me fucking 50 years ago, a good man died in Dallas, and his fucking brains were blown out all over his wife's dress, and America mourned, and 50 years later, I can't even fucking, I live in Michigan. I don't know what the
You know what?
is there.
I've never heard an American rant about the cold so well. I'm going to talk to a couple of people, but I'm pretty sure we can make you an honorary Canadian. I think you've been through enough of what we've been through that it won't be that hard to adopt citizenship, so...
Fucking people dying in the streets, can't put sweaters on your children, can't put socks on your feet.
You know what I've been looking into recently? After my bike ride to work the other morning at like 8:30 in minus 22-degree weather on a fucking mountain bike, I started looking into heated clothing. And I remember reading in like Popular Science years ago about like these battery-powered socks and thinking, oh, that's kind of neat. But, who would actually wear those big battery packs hanging off your socks? It was like the early 90s or something like that. But they've come a long way with lithium-ion batteries and whatnot. And apparently motorcycle drivers use this, and I just found this out searching last night. But you can get heated vests where it has like a bunch of steel woven plates in like the front and back and the sides of it, and it's powered by a bunch of batteries, and you strap this vest on and just like heats you up. Now, the only thing is that I'm a little bit worried about like being in a kind of a wet climate, because I don't want to like trip and fall over and like have this thing short out and like shock the fuck out of me. But at the same time, the prospect of being able to bike to work with a heated vest on, I really couldn't think of anything more I'd want in the entire world right now.
Heated vest. I want to put warm patches of like, oh man, you know what would be a good invention that I'm patenting right now, so don't no one steal it from me. Like these like slap-on patches that vagina warmth patches.
Vagina warmth patches, eh?
Like like when you go to like cup of vag and there's this just warmth emanating from it. If we could somehow harness that vaginal energy into a patch to slap on your body when it's cold out.
Yeah, you could like put it inside like mittens and gloves and shit like that, so just every finger would feel like you had your chick inside, or you had your dick inside some chick, or finger inside some chick. Wow, that took me like 3 tries if I can finally say that.
That's going down in the good ideas and inventions folder.
You know another good idea? I was thinking this before when you said how you got like stuck at the Chinese restaurant waiting for your mom. Like, did you ever watch Star Trek? How they had those like communicators where they could just communicate to another person like across huge distances, like virtually instantly. They got to come up with something like that. So like the next time you have to pick up your mom, you could like use that and then see like if she's ready to be picked up or something, and then I think it'd make your life a lot easier.
You talk about Game Boys?
Kind of.
I mean phones.
Yes. Game Boy phones. Sorry, I'm trying to rip on you here.
I know. I know you wanted me to say phone, so I said Game Boys.
How dare you?
I'm a goddamn rebel.
Unbelievable.
You know what's another good invention that I came up with that no one better steal is wet sand spray. So when you get out of the water at the beach, you spray this the wet sand doesn't stick to you.
They have something kind of like that, but it makes water not stick to you.
Yeah, I saw that. That's bullshit. I don't like that wizard shit.
Well, you probably wouldn't want to spray it on your body. That'd probably kill you.
That fucking voodoo, hoodoo, friends on the other side, motherfucking skeleton key witchcraft bullshit.
Jeez.
I hate it. I don't believe in the black magic and the dark incantations and the Azarath, Metreon, Zinthos, Avada Kedavra.
Sounds like you do. Sounds like you know a lot about it.
Well, I am a Satanist, but that's besides the point.
Everyone's a little bit satanic. So you know what you should become Amish. If you think technology is so evil, just give it all up. How about that?
Maybe I will.
It's not like your life become dependent on it and everything. It's not like everything you enjoy doing revolves around it.
I'll be doing these Partycasts on a tin can and a string. I'll do it.
So, okay, if you had to give up technology and you could choose between giving up some sort of gaming device, like let's say either your PC or a PS3 or PS4, which would you choose to give up?
Wait, what?
If somebody put a gun to your head and said you have to give up either your gaming PC or your PS3, which one would you give up?
Oh, well, I'd give up my gaming PC if I had one, because PCs
Awesome.
are to games what fucking toilet paper is to an open wound.
Really, the first system that could play games is that. That's how you treat the that's how you treat the forefather of all gaming, the computer.
Toilet paper would probably be pretty good for an open wound.
Actually, yes, it would be. It would be.
Sandpaper to an asshole. That's what is that.
Covered with, like, dried Tabasco sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also AIDS.
And other feces. Somebody else's feces, but you don't know who it is. It's just
AIDS
feces.
and monkey AIDS and super AIDS. All
Yep.
three of the AIDS pyramid all at once.
And you know that slime that you get on your hands that you can't wash off when you pick up slugs? That too.
Ew.
Yeah.
You mean vaginal gunk?
No, it's worse. Far worse.
Oh man, Nickelodeon should market vaginal gunk to kids like Gak or
Oh,
or
God.
Foam. From the makers of Floam, vaginal gunk.
Let's just make Gak and put it in, like, a pussy-shaped, like, plastic container. I'd buy it. I'd probably try eating it, too.
I'd buy 5.
The point I was getting at was that there's always this constant hype around the next game console, and quite frankly, man, I played the PS4 a few days before it was released. We got stuck in this mall and had nothing to do. So me and my buddy PK from Booze Reviews, sat in this lineup for a while to get in to play the PS4, and they gave us some fancy schmancy thing, and type in your name here for spam and shit, and you can maybe win a PS4. And of course, it didn't win, but the games were kind of unimpressive. Like, they were cool, but like I was almost expecting this guy to jump up from behind the curtains and be like, "Psych, it was actually PS3 you were playing this on." And I would have been like, "Oh, okay."
There's no reason that there should even be new consoles right now at this point. None at all.
Yeah, I kind of agree. If they're gonna make a new console, they should make it like crazy, groundbreaking good. Like what I saw for the launch titles of the PS4, it wasn't like what I saw when I played Super Nintendo for like 6 years and then they released the N64. It didn't blow my fucking mind. It's just like, okay, better graphics and new stuff. There's some gimmicky stuff with the controller that the Wii did, 10 years ago, but it's Sony,
Yeah, it just goes to show like how out of touch and fucking retarded, like the people who run these companies, like actually like clinically retarded they must be.
Yeah.
Because like it's like, oh, there's not really any way to have a graphical leap on par with like what previous new console generations were like, but we're just gonna fucking do it anyways and spend millions and millions of dollars that we're never gonna make back for 10 years to make a whole new console, and it's just gonna have all these bells and whistles that don't really mean anything, but the games are just gonna be the same old shit, and it's gonna have online, and you're gonna you can switch from TV to the Xbox because you couldn't do that before with the fucking remote.
Yeah.
And it's like the PlayStation people are like, oh, our system's gonna do all this stupid shit, and the Xbox people are like, well, our system's gonna do all this stupid shit, and it's like, how much money they'd make if one of them didn't make a new console and just said fuck it and kept supporting their old one, they'd make all their money back and then some, and they'd be in the lead automatically, and then down the road they could have something come out that actually works. And if one of them had the foresight to say, okay, let's make a new console with all the graphical improvements and all the new technology and the RAM and the ROM and the rhinos and whatever the fuck, if we do all that shit, but also just leave out all the fucking stupid bullshit that no one wants, like fucking voice controls and fucking sensors that see you for Obama and internet shit. If they just if they made something like a Super Nintendo for 2013 that just just you put games in it and you fucking play them and that's all you fucking do, and the graphics are amazing and everything's great.
Starts up like popping into Dr. Mario and hitting the old power button, just boom.
You'd win the console wars instantly. Because that's all people fucking want. A gaming device.
Yep. You know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for somebody out there to be a fanboy of, let's say, an Xbox, except he owns a PS4. I'm waiting for somebody to be like the opposing fanboy. Because whenever you hear arguments about like which console is better, which is going to be better, whoever thinks whatever is fucking better, it's always the console that they're planning to get or the console they already have. So what they're trying to say is, I'm better than you. I'm so insecure that I'm going to buy something and it's going to maybe convince you that I'm better than you because of it. Sad.
When you're saying like which console's better, like most of the time neither of them are. Like only a few times in history has a console been objectively worse or better than its competitors.
Yeah,
right exactly. Off the bat. I mean, like it just comes down to what exclusives they're going to have, and I think we're moving away from exclusives. Period. I mean, they're pretty much a thing of the past. I mean,
there's so much money in making games now. Like if you spend like $50 million to make a game, and you're like, well, we could make all our profit back and then some if we released it on one console, or we could try releasing it on two and make even more money. I mean, what are you going to tell your stockholders, right? If that's how your company's being run, like, fucking capitalism.
It's just fucking dumb. It's all just, I mean, like, Xbox has what? Halo, I guess. Even though fucking, I don't know if anyone cares about Halo like since 3 because.
Yeah, I know nothing about Halo. I played it multiplayer once for like 10 minutes, and that's it.
I mean, don't get me wrong, they're great games, and I even like
Yeah.
the story of them. But it was built from the beginning as a trilogy, wasn't it? So after 3, I sort of stopped giving a shit.
Right.
I didn't play 4. I didn't play the spin-offs, and they have Halo and they have Mass Effect, which, you know, I love Mass Effect like a lot. I mean, Mass Effect 1 is like one of my favorite games ever, but
Yeah.
fucking Mass Effect 3, still to this day, I have such a bad taste in my mouth. I can't. I just can't. I can no longer get invested. It would just be like going back to like an old girlfriend who broke your heart, and you know it'd just be the same old shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, how can you go back to the Mass Effect series after the fucking cluster bomb of diarrhea that was Mass Effect 3?
You convince yourself it was going to be fun for a while. You'd think that maybe it could be different this time, but in the end, you just realize that it was all for nothing. You wasted your time. You should have seen it coming.
Yep. And then, like, I don't know. And the fucking PS4, the exclusives that they're going to have just pisses me off on a whole new level. Because every big exclusive PS4 game that they've announced so far are games that were originally announced at the PS3's launch for PS3, and they never got off their asses and made them, and they pushed them back for 8 years.
Wow.
Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy 15,
That they're going to be so good.
and The Last Guardian. 3 games. I bought a PS3 in 2008, I think, so that I could play Kingdom Hearts 3 and The Last Guardian, because they were already announced for PS3. Now it's like 8 years later, and they're like, oh, they're still coming out, but PS4 now. Suck a dick. Who gives a shit? Who can care anymore after they give you this run around?
You know, the only new system that I'm excited about, we might have talked about this before on the podcast, is the new Oculus, that Oculus Rift, that fucking VR fucking thing. That thing looks badass. I'm already seeing like videos of Japanese people like turning that into like sex robots and shit like that, virtual reality, like fucking anime characters and stuff like that.
Yeah, and
I'm all
I
for
like
it. That's great.
I like the well, yeah, and once they come up with like, you know, virtual reality sex simulators, maybe the women in this country will have some incentive to start acting right.
You hear that, ladies?
We can fucking replace your asses.
Be replaced by sex robots made in Japan. You knew it was coming. You knew it was bound to happen eventually. It was only a matter of time.
Jesse's a mandatory misogynistic remark for the Partycast. Check.
Yep. Yeah.
I like to move on. I like the Yaya sisterhood. Whatever the fuck it is. But Ouya, I think it's pronounced. It's like this. I mean, I don't know anything about it, but it's just like.
You're gonna talk about it anyways.
Yeah, because why wouldn't I? I mean, it's a console. It's just like, it's a really little thing. That's why I like it, because it's just little. It's like a little like square cube that sits on shit.
Yeah. I bet that will be kind of like, it'll kind of recapture the nostalgic days of gaming, because I bet there'll be a lot of like cheap games for it, you know, like $10 games that are cool little side scrollers and shoot 'em up and stuff like that.
It's not like there's no like big development studios behind it. There's no like.
Well, it's open source, so anyone can make something for it.
Yeah, there's no games. There's no like discs or games. It's just all like independent downloadable shit.
Yeah.
But it like, especially like a Steam console basically. But
yeah.
It looks kind of cool. Like, I'd buy it if I was a wealthy.
Well, I think it's going to be $100.
Rich man.
Yeah, I think it's going to be $100, so that's cheaper than a Game Boy.
Yeah,
and a used Game Boy.
If I was a rich man, take over the world. We're Jews, and we'll fucking stomp on your dreams.
Story of my life. So much Jew stomping.
What else? Oh yeah, but winner of the console wars, it's the fucking Wii U. You're a fucking idiot if you think otherwise.
Yeah, the Wii U's pretty sweet. pretty sweet. I
mean, like, here's the thing. Nintendo obviously isn't going to sell as much as the other systems, but Nintendo wins without winning. Nintendo's going to stick around forever. And
that's the thing. Nintendo just kind of can't go away, because I think, regardless of how well it does in North America, it captures the heart and soul of like Japanese imagination and like fun. Like, there's always these weird, wacky games, and like tons of games that never even see like North American shores sell millions and millions and millions of copies in Japan. So
yeah, and you know, kids are always going to be introduced to gaming through Mario. That's always going to be a thing.
Yeah, that's actually true. I remember going over to one of my childhood friends' houses once, and he had 2 kids, and one of them was up, and they were playing the Wii. They were playing that new Super Mario Brothers game where you bounce on each other and fuck each other up and shit like that. He's like, yeah, he really likes Mario, and it was so cute to like see him playing Mario with his son, introducing him to this.
And like, people are like,
games.
I don't know. I kind of find it funny that like a lot of people like, oh, the new Mario games. Yeah, they're just not innovative. It's just the same crap that it's been for like 20 years, and it's like, yeah, but it's not.
Try playing them and then say that.
It's for someone. It's for a kid to experience it the first time.
Yeah.
Which is cool. That there's always going to be a Mario game with the same formula,
Yep.
that kids can. And I think it's cool. And you know, fucking, you got the cat suit now. There's some new stuff. I want to play that
Yep.
shit. Looks
Yep.
fun. I think the Wii U has like a fucking amazing library already, and like no one pays attention to it because it's Nintendo, and like no one gives a shit anymore. But it's got like Pikmin 3. There's a new Smash Brothers coming out, like Luigi's Mansion 2, I think.
My theory is that the people who do like the Wii U and do pay attention to it are simply they're just busy playing games and having fun. They don't have time to sit around the internet bitching and moaning and complaining.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
They're just off
internet
actually having
people-
fun.
Internet people are fucking pathetic.
Hey, I'm an internet person. What are you trying to say?
No, I don't know. I'm slowly weaning myself off 4chan because like I'm not like a 4chan hater. I'm not one of those guys who just brings it up without really knowing what he's talking about. Like, oh, the fucking cesspool of the internet, fucking 4chan, because everyone says that, and it's not always true. There's good discussion on there sometimes, and I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's like you won't see on like news sites because it's politically incorrect and no one else.
Right.
I'm like, I think 4chan is a pretty good site, but
It's
the
a
people
form for
on
open
there-
communication. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's a little too open.
a lot of the people on there are fucking 12, and I hate young people. I hate kids. I've made a new rule for myself to keep like the happiness in my life, and it's I will no longer speak to anyone under 20 for any reason ever. Because
that's usually a safe bet, but I gotta tell you, man, playing Legos with like two little girls on Thanksgiving dinner at my buddy PK's house,
Okay.
that was fucking badass.
let me
playing some
rephrase
drunk
that.
Legos.
Like, between 12 and 20.
All right. So there's a cutoff. Understandable.
Children are cool. Children are, I don't know. It's just like
But
teenagers
teens and young
are, like,
people, do you know why I hate those
legitimately
people so
retarded.
much? And I don't like really hate them, but they are retarded and they're irritating. I hate them so much because when I read these stupid posts or shit on 9gag and retarded, cringeworthy crap, it reminds me of way too much of myself back then, and I'm forced to like face the fact that I used to be that kind of person and used to enjoy all that sort of stupid fucking crap. Like, so basically when I see those, like I feel embarrassed for them and for myself, and I'm just like, ugh, and I just want to.
I don't know. I hate them. I wish that like teenagers were just like put in a box until they're old enough to have a brain, because like they're
Well, Mark
just like
Twain said when you have a kid, stick him in a barrel and feed him through a hole, and when he becomes a teenager, plug up the hole. Dad told me that one a couple of times, and I deserve
fucking
it.
like their opinions. They just stink up the zeitgeist, and
Well, that's 'cause they're young
They
and
shouldn't be allowed to
uninformed.
have opinions on
They're
shit.
trying to formulate their opinions bit by bit using their
And
underdeveloped brains. And
especially
limited information
teenagers who are gamers or nerds, because they get so into it and they get into it enough to formulate opinions, but they don't fucking know anything. So their opinions are all completely shit and fucking retarded, and most of them never grow out of it. Most of them never fucking even realize when they're adults. Most adults are still teenagers, but it's just like I hate them. I mean, I was talking to this one fucking guy. Oh my god, on Skype, and mind you, this is a guy who's a game reviewer, and he's popular, and he's big,
Yeah.
and he's on YouTube. And I was talking to him, and I think he's 20 now, but maybe he's 20 now, 19 or something.
Okay.
But I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I'm 24, and like 20 to 24, you might seem like, oh, it's only 4 years, but it's like, I don't know. It's like looking at a fucking retarded slug to me. It's like it might as well be 60 years between 20 and 24. I feel like.
I know
'Cause
what you
still
mean
feel
with
like they're
that.
fucking retarded. I mean, it's
That
like
happens like every couple of years in your life, especially when you look back at yourself. You're like, oh my god, I was a fucking idiot.
Like, I mean, and like, I don't want to sound like a fucking baby boomer and just say that like, kids today fucking don't know anything or stupid. But it's like, you know, but sometimes
Actually,
I wonder
there's something really interesting I read. It was either by like Plato or like Hippocrates or something like that. One of the Greek philosophers, but he was talking about like the modern youth, and it's all like flowery, like old translated Greek to English and shit. And it's a bit of a difficult read, but it reads basically exactly like what kids are today, like disrespecting their parents and having no dreams and just being generally like shitty.
Yeah, I mean, like, these kids are fucking, and then they're fucking, and then what the fuck? Hey, I was gonna fucking say.
What do you
a
do
thing.
about it, Jesse? Because if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
Who the fuck said that? I'll kill him.
I just did. Don't kill me. I still want to live for a little bit longer.
Wait, I was gonna make fun of kids some more, but I forgot what I was gonna say. Like, I don't know if it's just like, I mean, obviously, like the basic like building blocks of life never change, and kids have always been shit.
Yeah,
But,
well,
like-
just because you're young and you're stupid, right? You just.
But like
you're
sometimes I think,
inexperienced.
but like, and I hate to sound like one of these baby boomer assholes who says like things are better in my day, but sometimes I honestly wonder if it's because that, like, especially the gamers with their fucked up opinions, like, I wonder if it's because like they weren't around for an actual era of gaming that was good, so they just like will never know what it's like to experience anything good, and that's why their opinions are just so fucking shit about games. And
Well, yeah,
maybe that makes me sound like a fucking dad talking about classic rock, but it's true.
yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
that's going to happen to everyone eventually, right? Like, it's not like you're just going to magically stop liking what you've liked for your whole life. You're always going to think that's the best. Like, your favorite song is always going to be, like, the best song, regardless of what new music comes out.
but it's like they have no critical thinking skills whatsoever. And, like, this guy is a reviewer. Like, this guy I was talking to, like, he gets paid, he's popular, his job is to know his fucking shit and not be an idiot. And I'm talking to him, and he's like, yeah, you know, Final Fantasy VII's pretty overrated. I mean, the characters were really fucking depressing and boring and stale. I played it for an hour and gave up. And I'm like, you motherfucking cocksucker. Say that to my face, not online, and see what happens.
I saw somebody try to do something like that way back in the dbaout forums. It was right after Spoony did like a bunch of his Final Fantasy VIII reviews, and I think he was trying to capitalize on that. Well, obviously he was. And I was kind of excited because I'm like, oh, somebody's doing Final Fantasy VII. That should be funny. Like, maybe this will be a funny review, or, you know, maybe he'll actually tear into it in like an interesting way. And like the first video or so, it was basically like trying to find retarded things to nitpick on that didn't work because the game is actually pretty good and pretty awesome, even by today's standards. So, I don't know. I think I messaged him once just being like, listen, man, you should probably just drop the project because, like, it's just kind of, you're trying too hard. Like,
you know what works about Spoonie's Final Fantasy VIII review is that he fucking played through the whole fucking game.
Mm-hmm. He's probably played through it multiple times.
And he played through it when it came out, so he didn't, I mean, like I can understand, I mean, to say the characters are stale and boring, and also I only played for a couple hours. How can you not see the idiocy in that statement? Yeah,
that's like watching the first episode of like Game of Thrones and just being like, yeah, they didn't really develop the characters that much.
And what it is that, and I know what it is that when you grow up hearing everything possible, good opinions, bad opinions about something that you've never played, like your whole life, then obviously when you finally do go into it, you're going to go into it with opinions kind of already formulated and critiquing shit, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, I can understand if a game comes out and you're like, I'll give this a try, and you play it for a couple hours, and you're like, I don't really like this, so I turned it off. If a game just came out, but if it's a game that's been out that people have talked about, and you're specifically going into it to see where you stand on it,
yeah,
then don't fucking go into it with fucking opinions already formulated, and then try to extrapolate shit to match your.
It's just kind of lazy, right?
It is lazy, and it's fucking, and it's childish. I hate kids. I hate teenagers. They're dumb and they're stupid and they're skinny.
See, I like hearing you say this because I've always had plans to be a crazy old man, like yelling at kids. I think in one of our original Geek Hive podcasts, I was screaming at kids out my window, telling them to shut up, but I never laughed. But yeah, I've always wanted to sit on my rocking chair with a bottle of Wild Turkey whiskey and a shotgun, Hunter S. Thompson style, and yell at kids to get off my lawn. But I wouldn't have lawn; I just have bark mulch, so they'd all think I was crazy. But
I'm gonna have fun when I'm old.
Definitely.
I'm gonna have fun when I'm old.
Like, you know, Johnny Knoxville in that old man costume, and do shit like that, except I'll just be an actual old man.
Oh my god, it's so fucking... I love that old people can get away with whatever the fuck they want because they're dying. Like, I can't wait for that freedom.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's like, what are you gonna throw me in jail? I'm gonna die anyways.
Even, like, societal norms, like, don't matter to people who are, like, from another generation. Because, like, my dad, he'll just go into a restaurant, and he can call every girl honey. And no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
I can't do that, or I'll get arrested.
Well, it'd be a little bit more awkward, yeah.
Because he's from a generation. Because for one thing, he's from a generation where men were still allowed to be men.
Yeah.
And another thing, who's gonna fucking? He's old. He's old.
Exactly.
He can do what he fucking wants.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it'd be different if he was like all creepy about it, said in some creepy like, hey, honey, some creepy breathy voice. But like, I mean, any waitress who hears that knows it's like, well, this old guy's trying to like pick me up.
You're like, I don't know.
You said it, they'd instantly turn it off. They'd be like, oh, this guy, I bet he's American.
I kind of do it because I say darling a lot, but mostly when I'm drunk.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that.
Because being drunk makes me
drunk
cool.
darling or doll face every once in a while. A bit of drunken class there.
Yeah. I remember like when I was like a teenager, like 18. I specifically trained myself to start saying darling because I liked Wolverine and he said it a lot and I thought it was cool. And now I can't stop. Now it's just a part of me.
That totally sounds like something I would have done as a kid. Jeez. Fucking teenagers.
They're horrible.
Yeah.
I couldn't have been that stupid. I couldn't have been. I mean, I know I was stupid. But at least...
I was pretty stupid. You know, for the longest time, you know when you were growing up, you hear that, like, girls want to be, like, Red Shakespeare under the willow tree by the lake and all this flowery shit. Like, I totally bought into that. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't do nice things and be a creative and expressive man to your gal, but I actually like, thought there's some sort of like merit to that. And like I would write my girlfriend's fucking poems and shit.
There's
like,
no fucking merit to it.
no,
It's bullshit.
It was misplaced. It was misplaced. Although I'm a pretty good lyricist as a result of all my explorations in the land of poetry. That's the gayest thing about the podcast. My explorations in the land of poetry.
Oh man, I was gonna show you some things before the Partycast, but I forgot. I've been cranking out poems like a motherfucker lately. Like I'm on this big poetry kick, and I've been posting them, and people are like, "Holy shit!" Like I'll read you a comment from a friend on the poem that I posted right now.
Bitz and Booze Partycast featuring comment section by Jesse Wood.
She says, "Jesse, please never end this poetry kick," and I like that shit because it was a compliment.
Aw.
Hey.
Was that from a guy or a girl?
It's from a girl.
Is she single and your age?
No.
Oh, well, regardless, you should try to have sex with her. Whether she wants to or not. It's the American way.
Oh, she's not that kind of girl in my life.
I see.
She's like a buddy's girlfriend, but she's also my friend.
Regardless, one of these days we're gonna write out a rap battle, and it's gonna be the best thing that's ever happened to the internet.
Well, yeah, we were gonna do that in the first place when we started this, but we never did because doing things is hard.
Yeah.
Doing things, guys, is really hard. Like you don't even know unless you've done things.
Yeah.
I hate doing things.
Well, I got 2 days off, and all I have to do is the dishes and vacuum, and then that's like my chores for the weekend. So then I can just make shitty videos all weekend long.
I just like that Murder Face song from Metalocalypse. It's like my life. Like, nothing in this world should not be evil. He's just like...
It's a pretty good impression.
When he's just like kicking people out of the way, just like, why is stuff so hard?
For those of you who haven't seen the show Metalocalypse, stream it, download it, watch it. I don't even like heavy metal, and I fucking love this show. Yeah, it really is a fantastic show. It's about this heavy metal band that they're basically so popular that they're almost like a liability. They're like a force of nature. So like all these different government agencies are watching them because like if Death Clock were to tell all their fans, that's the name of the band, if they were to tell all their fans to kill themselves, like half the world's population would actually die off. That's how devoted they are. Like fans actually, they sign away their lives in like this like death waiver when they go to their metal shows because they have all sorts of crazy machines that like grind people up and kill them accidentally, and you know people get like lit on fire and shit. It's pretty fucking metal. So
you've got to see the thing that they just the most recent one. It was like they did like an hour-long special to like wrap up all these like plot points that they've been doing for like the last like 5 years. Good. And it was the whole thing was a musical, and it was like this big heavy metal opera. And like it's like legitimately one of the best like musicals like I've ever seen. Like it's beautiful and it's emotional and it's hilarious and it makes you feel.
Maybe they'll like perform it on stage someday.
It's beautiful. There's like this one scene where like I don't know. I can't even. But yeah, like I remember like Metalocalypse first came out when I was still in high school.
Yep.
Which was at least 29 years ago.
Yeah.
At this point, but it's like
46 years ago for me.
Yeah. I remember like my friends and I got really into it, and like our group of friends was like the 5 of us, like it like really spoke to us because like our 5 personalities individually were like exactly like the band.
Nice. Like we had a show like that, yeah.
Like like everyone was like, "Oh my god, yeah, Nathan Explosion is fucking you," because apparently like whenever anyone does an impression of me, I notice it's always, "Hey guys, it's me, Jesse. I hate everybody. I'm so mad."
Sounds like Sasquatch with lung cancer.
I really sound like that, guys.
You kind of do, yeah, a little bit. Maybe not. Fucking Metalocalypse.
Metal freaking. I mean, I guess like, and it's like it seems like that happened a lot because like it seemed like for a long time like our thing was that like everything that me and my friends watched, like, oh, that's you and that's me and that's because it's like, I guess it goes back to like there's like probably like only a handful of like basic character tropes that like.
Yeah.
That go throughout the ages. Like, I think I saw a video about this one time that was really cool. I think it was on Cracked or something, even though Cracked fucking sucks now. But it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it was about like how like the four Ninja Turtles are like the 4 basic personalities that are in every form of media and every story ever, and that everyone in the world, and that like your favorite turtle defines like who you are as a person, and it was like. Yeah.
Well, you can nail things like that down to certain archetypes. Like for example, I read another article about I think the number was 18, but it was like the 18 types of advertisements, or it might have been the 8 types. But this was discovered back in the 60s by some guy at an ad agency, and he basically outlined the fact that there are only like a set amount of different kinds of advertisements, and it's like a limited number. And like once you read through the list, you can think of any ad you've ever seen in your life, and they all fall into one of those fucking categories. It's really weird.
See, if I was an ad exec, I would take that as a challenge to really think outside the box and do something fucking completely out of my ass.
Slit your wrist and just walk into a mall.
Yeah, just like have a
Start
commercial.
shoving a Barbie doll up your ass. Mentos, the fresh maker. Oh, dude. Okay, I thought it was great. This great Mentos ad. When I was in the shower once, it gets the blood pumping. You know, your brain gets all creative, and it's like it starts off and it's like do 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 and it shows like this girl like walk over to a guy on the couch and like hand him a pregnancy test. It says positive, and he's like, and then like he like pops a Mentos in his mouth and smiles at her. And it's like. Da 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 da, fresh was better, da da, Mentos fresh and fuller, and it shows him like driving, and it shows him like driving to like this like church, and she's like all like smiling like they're gonna get married or something like that. But then he goes past it, nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool, and then like it shows him like driving to this like log forest, and she starts getting like panicky. And then when it plays the end, like fresh goes better, it just shows him like digging and like filling up this hole, and then he like at the end he kind of like plants his like his shovel. It's like Mentos, the fresh maker, clink.
Yeah.
And if I'm not going to hell for thinking that's hilarious, there's really nothing worse I could do. That's one of the worst things I've ever thought.
Fuck that. I think everything's hilarious.
Well,
I think that like people who can't laugh at anything are fucking pussies.
Yeah, I can understand like if somebody gets offended by some kind of humor because of a personal event in their life.
Oh yeah.
Or like let's say you have like a crazy small dick, like you got like seriously like a 1-inch dick and you're super self-conscious about it, and you go to see a stand-up comedian and like 50 minutes of his set is like small dick jokes. Like you'd probably feel a little bit fucking awkward. You probably wouldn't find it all that funny. So
that's funny you should mention that, because just today I sent in an application to get a gig at a venue.
Oh yeah.
To do stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And like a real gig that like
yeah.
I think they pay and everything.
Yeah.
But I started writing down like sort of a set list, and the first thing I wrote down is shriveled dick jokes.
Shriveled dick jokes. There's no other line of work where researching for the position would actually possibly net you being hired than being a comedian with shriveled dick jokes.
Cause I've been working like cutting trees with my dad stuff, and like cause I never fucking talk around my dad at all, like cause I just don't know how to talk to my dad.
Don't have that kind of relationship with him.
Yeah, so it's like I just like go into my own head. I just like think of shit while I'm working like the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's just like I just want to like I was thinking of like all these like shriveled dick jokes and how like I just want to go on stage, just like start the set and be like, so I don't know about you fellas out there, but I really kind of like it when my dick shrivels up real small. And then just like talk about how like having a shriveled up dick is kind of awesome.
Yeah, like you could use this. Like when I used to go down to Wreck Beach, my friend said if you were ever worried, Wreck Beach is that nudist beach I told you about, the nude hippie beach. They're like, if you're ever worried about getting a boner in public, like, just go for a swim before you take your pants off, because, the water's super cold in the ocean, it'll shrivel it right up. It turns out, though, it's actually, like, basically impossible to get a boner in public. It's some sort of, like, some sort of biological mechanism. But, yeah, let me tell you, that cold water, you'd look down and you'd be like, am I on mushrooms, or is my dick the size of a mosquito? Both.
Yeah, I know that. I believe it'd be pretty hard when all those people are watching. I mean, I make all my girlfriends wear blindfolds when we're in bed, because...
And then you just use your fingers instead? I read some story on Reddit the other day about, like, bad sexual experiences, and I don't know if this is true or not, but, like, some girl said she was with this guy with, like, a crazy small dick, and he would, like pretend to, like, penetrate her, but he'd, like, use his finger instead.
That's fucking awesome!
But she, like, always knew it, and she just, like, never said anything. It was, like, super awkward.
That guy's a genius. Fuck her. She's a stupid, entitled bitch.
Well, it would be pretty sad if you had a super small dick.
That reminds me of, like, there's this line in, like, an old ICP song, and it's just, like, it's on, like, one of their albums of just, like, random songs that didn't make the real albums, like, one of those, like...
Sounds par for the course for old Insane Clown Posse.
Yeah, and it's just, like... And there's, like, liner notes that, like, explain the songs, and, like, the liner notes are, like, yeah, so, I was just, really drunk one night, and I went into the studio, and I recorded this shit, and I don't even fucking remember. And it's just, like... It's just, like, the dumbest lyrics, like, ever that, like, have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah,
and I remember, like, one line in the song was, like, if you were Andre the Giant, that shit would be slick. You could finger fuck a girl and she would think it's your dick.
That's great. I love it. Well, half the songs, guys probably just got completely fucking, like, hammered and fucking high as shit, and then just went in the studio and just wrote random crap. I mean,
Violent J.
Insane Clown Posse.
Violent J is on the level of Shakespeare for me.
You know, I actually do kind of like their music. Like,
yeah, I mean,
it's not like I listen to it frequently. When I hear it, I'm like, fucking ICP. These guys are hilarious.
They are a very underrated band.
Yeah, they are what they are, right? They're very unique. They're very, yeah. I don't really understand the whole Juggalo following. Like,
well, they're brilliant entrepreneurs. They're genius businessmen. At least Violent J is, because he thought of the whole thing.
I heard a long time ago, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard from a friend in high school, and you know how reliable those are. But they said that ICP got started because like they tried to form like a gang or something like that, and then they got their ass kicked, so they decided to like make music instead or something. I don't know.
I don't know if that's true. I mean, when I was in high school, I read Violent J's autobiography.
Yeah.
It was actually like really cool and really well written, which is weird.
Huh.
I mean, not that I think he's dumb. It's just you don't expect it to be as articulate as he was.
Yeah, that's kind of what I felt about Mick Foley's "Have a Nice Day" book. You read that and you're like, holy cow, this guy sounds like he was an English major.
Yeah, but I guess originally they were just a 3-piece, and they were just like a regular like Detroit 3-piece rap group, like rapping about
Being
beats in my trunk and all that shit. Yeah, the same shit that everyone else did. But I guess like Violent J just had the idea to go with the clown gimmick, and I guess one of the guys didn't see it, so he dropped out of the band. So it was just two of them from then on. But it took off, and they fucking ran with it. And
yep, they certainly made some coin.
Yeah, they certainly made some coin.
certainly made some coin.
You know what? I would so totally like. I don't know, I really want to like work on like a rap album and get something out and stop fucking around with reviews for a while.
Yeah, man.
Whatever, fucking stupid, like, cause I like rapping and I'm fucking good at it.
If you want to make some serious but if you want to get some serious views on YouTube, have you heard of the comedian John LaJoy?
Yes.
Is that like okay? You gotta record something in a studio and then get somebody with a professional camera to shoot some retarded music video. Because his stuff is very simple, but it's brilliantly written and it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know if have you seen his like drinking beer and smoking cigarettes?
No,
I like to party. The answer is yes, and it's like this really old guy like singing about like partying, and, like I started smoking cigarettes with my mouth and fingering girls on my parents' couch.
My favorite of his is the one where it's like he's sitting around at home and like suddenly breaks in. It turns out to be Santa Claus, and he like murders him and like chops him up, and he's like puking as he's like chopping up the body in the bathtub. And after he like gets rid of the body, like his aunt calls up and is like, "It was Auntie Jen looking for Uncle Bob. She said he left the house dressed as Santa Claus, and he hasn't been back all night. Have you seen him? God, I hope he's all right." Brilliant man.
Brilliant man. I want to fucking be on a song with ICP.
Maybe someday you can.
I want them to sign me. And I want Juggalo fans, in addition to Brony fans. I want to collect all of the worst fans in the world. Just have an army of freaks behind me.
That'd be a pretty interesting army. You'd have to hold conventions separately, because if they got together and started breeding, it would probably end up destroying the world. Probably ruin humanity.
Bronies and Juggalos are kind of similar in a lot of ways. I mean, like, they're both very misunderstood, but they both also bring it on themselves.
Yeah.
So they're both kind of not misunderstood.
Yeah.
So much as they're understood perfectly, and it's totally reasonable why people hate them.
Yes. It's kind of like people who do live action roleplay.
I like those guys.
Lightning bolt.
Sleep. That's fucking awesome. I wish that shit worked in real life.
Yeah, no kidding, man. That'd be okay. It actually would be kind of cool to do one of those, as long as like human beings didn't have the ability to like judge each other and think this guy's fucking retarded. Because like you could have a fun battle if you're all just pretending and everyone was following.
Dude, I would totally do it if I had the opportunity to.
Yeah.
Fuck feeling shame. Fuck. You know what phrase I fucking can't stand? Guilty pleasure. Fuck you. I don't have guilty pleasures. Everything I like is awesome because I like it, and that's all the reason it needs to be awesome.
I completely agree. That was like me posting on Facebook the other day, sharing this link to some like crystal that you can win at this like hippie shop. And I was like, I don't care what anyone fucking thinks. I'd love to win this crystal.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you like, kidnapping and molesting small children, that would be a guilty pleasure because you'd be in trouble.
That'd be an atrocity against humankind. So I'm trying to remember. Like, I know you fucking hate Siskel and Ebert, but they had an episode once where they went through all their like movie list of like guilty pleasures, and I forget which one it was, but they liked Earth Girls Are Easy. And I don't know if you ever seen Earth Girls Are Easy. That was back when like Jeff Goldblum was like this fucking sexy 80s star. But oh yeah, but that movie actually is pretty fucking funny. Like it's not a bad movie. You get laughs out of it. So, and I think the other one was something like Dawn of the Dead or Day of the Dead or something like that. Forget whichever one where like the guy's hand gets possessed and he chops it off and it comes after him.
I'm trying to fucking, I don't know. Like, I think, like, the most infuriating fucking Ebert review that I ever saw was, like, was like the triple whammy of his reviews of the Turtles movies.
Yeah.
Because those original 3 Turtles movies, those are, like, fucking sacred to me. Like, in my game room...
sacred to any kid who grew up with them, man.
Yeah, like, I have, like, the whole series on VHS, and I have them all set up, like, in, like, a little shrine, like, in the game room.
Nice. Did you light a candle and pray to Master Splinter every night?
Yes, I had a girl over who like came and spent a week from New York. This beautiful, wonderful girl.
Yeah.
And like I think like on like the first night together, I like okay, babe, sit down on the couch. We're gonna watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the movie.
Yeah.
And you're gonna learn what makes me tick.
This is all you need to know about me. After this, I'm an open book.
Yeah, and then fucking it gets to the part where Raphael's all pissed off and sad, and he's talking to Master Splinter, and Master Splinter is like, fucking, anger clouds the mind. When turned inwards, it is an unconquerable enemy. You are unique among your brothers, for you choose to face this enemy alone. But as you do, know that I am here, my son. And I fucking like, and I'm fucking like crying like a fucking baby. Yeah. Like that scene like touches me like every time.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my god, this guy's so sensitive. I love him. I'm gonna let him put his wiener in me. And it's like that's right. Ninja Turtles, that's right.
See, when I was younger, like there's certain things my parents didn't like let me like have. Like for example, like Ninja Turtles, they didn't really let me watch because like they said it was violence, and I couldn't have like violent video games because it was like, oh, you fight enough already with your brother. But friends of ours like the Ninja Turtles, and so we could play it at their house, that kind of thing. But I do remember that Ninja Turtles arcade game, the first one, not Turtles in Time, but like the first fucking arcade game. And I remember dumping like millions and millions of tokens into that at the arcade. And a couple times at birthday parties, we'd just be like, all right, we're spending each of our moms fucking $40, and we're beating this thing. And we did. Just cost a lot of money.
Fucking Turtles, man. Oh yeah, but what Ebert said when he reviewed this, he's like, I still can't tell the Turtles apart. They're all the fucking same. And it's like, what the fuck, man? They've got different colored bandanas.
That's the opinion of an old fat man.
Yeah, they're all completely different archetypes. Like, they're not even on the same... Like, you'd have to be... Like, what do you need, a fucking flashing neon sign? Like, this is Raphael. This is... I mean, I've never met a person in my life who was retarded enough to not be able to tell the freaking Turtles apart. They're the most basic, like... That's the divide of personality types. I mean, I don't... You're
Plus
dumb.
They got different colors for their bandanas, so...
Ebert, sit in your grave and get eaten by worms, you old dead cocksucker.
Well, on that note, I have to take a piss, so... Partycast on pause. Be right back, guys.
Man, fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Motherfucking Casey Jones, man. Now there's a motherfucker that you don't even want to trifle with. I mean, fucking... He doesn't give a shit. I mean, like, you see Batman. I mean, like, the Joker's still around. It's been 80 years, and the Joker's still around, still killing people. Because Batman, for all the good he's done, he's a pussy when it comes to making the tough decisions. I don't want to kill. Human life is sacred. I'll never kill the Joker. Criminals can be real, but fuck that. Casey Jones does not give a shit about criminals or their families or their feelings. This guy, he had it up to here. And the great thing about Casey Jones is, I mean, and a lot of, like, modern incarnations of the character, they'll have, like, a backstory, like, oh, his dad was abusive, his dad was a drunk, he came from, like, a broken home, and all that stuff. But like, back in the day, in the original cartoon, and in the movie, in the first movie, he didn't have a backstory because Casey Jones doesn't need a backstory. And that's what I love about Casey Jones. He doesn't need, like, a motivation to do this. He's like a guy who, for all you know, could have literally just woke up one day and said, I'm sick of these fucking criminals and ninjas on my streets. I'm going to go out with a baseball bat and a hockey stick, and I'm going to bash their fucking heads in until they're all dead. And that's the coolest fucking superhero in the world. He's my superhero. Casey Jones is the fucking man. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't pussyfoot around the bush. He doesn't let these guys get away with shit. He bashes their heads in with sporting equipment and kills them. And he doesn't give a shit. No quarter given. He's awesome. Casey Jones. Go.
I came back halfway through that and just wanted to hear the rest of it. That actually is a pretty fucking cool character though, cause like that'd be a great idea for like kind of a vigilante movie, something like Casey Jones, where it's like almost the reverse of like Jason Voorhees, where he just goes fucking nuts and just smashes people apart.
Like, that's what I love about the character. That like I love like the mystique of like he doesn't really have a motivation or like a traumatic thing in his backstory. Like he's just a guy who got fed up with it.
He just hates evil so much he wants to fucking crush its skull into asphalt.
Yeah, and like I mean, a lot of things try to flesh him out more, but he's a character that I kind of like being left to the imagination.
Yeah. I was gonna say before, like, I have this weird fucking superpower where every fucking cartoon theme song I ever hear gets stuck in my head and I remember it perfectly. And I gotta say that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles song, despite the fact that I never watched the show all that much, is one of the best Saturday morning cartoon theme songs in the fucking world.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The second you hear it, it just fucking pumps you up. It's like when you go to a rock band, like a fucking rock show for your favorite fucking band, and they play that first fucking chord, and everyone's like, yeah! Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Fucking awesome.
It's fucking awesome. Yeah, fucking. Oh. Before I forget to say this, since I was going on my Casey Jones spiel, I think like last year or maybe 2 years ago, there was this guy who put together this fan film of Casey Jones. He like directed it, and I think like his brother started it or he started. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was like this 40-minute fan film of like Casey Jones, and it's so fucking fantastic. Like he nailed it. Like so like. I mean, like, the way that Elias Koteas portrayed Casey Jones in the original movies, to me, what a hero. I mean, he made that character, like, at the same time, like he seemed, like, very dangerous and very, like, psychotic, but at the same time, he was so lovable and so nice and friendly that, like, you could totally hang out with this dude.
Yeah.
Like, that was a great portrayal, but, like, the guy who also did this fan film, he also fucking nailed it. And, like,
interesting. What's the name of the fan film so people can see it?
Oh, fuck. I'm going to Google it right now.
All right. In the meantime, I was going to say, did you ever see the video? I looked it up on YouTube here, and it's called, like, World's Biggest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Fan. I remember seeing this years ago on E-Bomb's World, and it's about this girl who's, like, just obsessed with the Ninja Turtles. And, like, back at the time when, like, I first saw it, I'm like, oh, look at that fucking pathetic loser, like, going to all their concerts. And, like, she spent, like, $3,000 on true-to-life, like, actual, like, Ninja Turtle costumes. Has tons of action figures and all the comics and all that shit. And in this one part when they're interviewing her, like when she was at a Ninja Turtle concert, she says like something that changed her life was when like Michelangelo or whatever was singing like "Follow Your Heart, Follow Your Heart."
Yes. Oh, I have seen that girl.
Yeah, but you know, like when I see it now, it's like as silly as it is. Like she loves the Ninja Turtles, and it really seems to make her happy. So like, who am I to shit on her? Yeah, like, who am I to shit on her for that?
Yeah. By the way, everybody, it's called Casey Jones the Movie by Polaris Banks, and there's a website, CaseyJonesTheMovie.com. It's fucking fantastic. If you're a fan of the character, if you're a fan of the Turtles or the lore of the whole universe, or if you're just a fan of watching a motherfucker kick ass, it's fucking, it's great. I mean, like, they sort of, like, go into his origin, which even though I just said that, like, I prefer him, like Mystique around him, like, the way that they went about it in this movie was, like, really, like, it's, like, the perfect origin, like, the perfect little nugget of, like, the character. Like, there's this scene in it where, like, he's training to, like, become a badass.
Yeah.
And, like, there's this scene where, like, he's on the rooftop, and like he's got like a broken arm because like he was in a fight with some punks, some fucking punkers, and he's got a broken arm, and he's punching this punching bag, and like he's doing shitty, and there's no there's no like words in the scene. He's just like punching it, and he gets fucking frustrated, and he picks up a bat and starts wailing on the punching bag with the bat, and it's like that right there. That 5 seconds is the character, like so perfectly.
Yeah.
Just a motherfucker punching a punching bag, getting pissed off, and going at it with the bat. And like the whole movie's like that. It's a really great fucking fan film. I'm just gushing about it.
How long is it?
It's only like 40 minutes long, or maybe like a half an hour.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, it's real cool. Fucking, we'll have another Partycast viewing party after this.
Yeah, man.
Like we did that one time that we never posted.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we did a few of those. But I was gonna say, do you remember like back, kind of like in the early '90s, after like Ninja Turtles, like where this huge craze, and they kind of like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 seasons. I don't know how many seasons it was, but they kind of started like lose their popularity. Like halfway through, other studios tried to like cash in on the whole like Teenage Mutant Ninja something thing. Like they had like biker mice from Mars.
Fucking Street Sharks. I love the Street Sharks.
Oh, those Street Sharks. I love those fucking toys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that takes me back. I just got a fucking flashback memory to back when I've always made videos since I was a kid, but we started off making videos called Super Chicken, The Adventures of Super Chicken. who was disguised as mild-mannered Clark Kent, and we'd dress up a rubber chicken in either a vest and glasses or like a Batman cape and whatnot. But we were at I think the Bay back when they had this toy section, and there was like one of those street sharks, and he was out of his package, and my friend Joel was like, "Hey, we should ask him if like we could get this guy for $5 because he's out of his package." And I'm like, "No, we can't haggle with people in a store like this." And I was like all afraid of like asking if we get like a discount. It wasn't actually. That's not really that interesting or funny of a story. So you talk for a little bit now.
Well, it's totally a funny fucking Super Alfred Chicken, man. That's a game on Super Nintendo that no one should ever play. I have it. Fucking, that's also not a good story.
We rented that once, and I remember playing it for about 3 or 4 minutes, and we just stopped and we played the other game that we had. I don't remember the other game we had, but I remember the only thing that I enjoyed about that game is you press down, Alfred Chicken would like kind of peck his beak abruptly into the ground. It just looked like he was just like, doof.
Stupid fucking game.
Fucking Alfred.
You know what?
I was back during like the mascot wars when all these studios were like, "Oh, we gotta have mascots. We gotta have like the new Sonic, the new Mario," and none of them stuck around.
Yeah, like fucking Awesome Possum.
Yeah.
You know what? Fucking whenever I think of like rubber chickens, it always just reminds me of like Monkey Island with the fucking rubber chicken with a pulley in the middle. That's a very obscure reference. It's like, oh man, they're great.
I know Monkey Island. I just never played them.
Yeah, I never played the old ones. Like I was introduced to series from the PS2 version.
Yeah.
I think it was like the 5th game. I don't fucking know.
So you used to be into the old point-and-click adventure games?
I didn't play a lot of them.
Yeah. Did you ever play Day of the Tentacle?
No.
Oh my God.
I know of it, but I got really into like, into the Escape from Monkey Island, and I tried playing the old ones and stuff, and that's a really fucking great series. I fucking love that shit, man.
One of my favorite.
I mean, it's great.
I was gonna say one of my favorite games of all time is an old point-and-click adventure game, and it was done by LucasArts back when they used to produce a whole bunch of point-and-click adventure games. It was called The Dig. And they actually like wrote like a novel about it, and apparently George Lucas wanted to make a movie about it, but couldn't get some sort of funding back in the day set up for it, so they decided to make a game instead. And the basic premise of the game is that there's an asteroid that's on an impact collision for Earth, but they basically devise a plan where they're going to set up 2 nuclear devices on the side of it to change its trajectory and put it into orbit. And after they do, they explore this crack, and they find these weird metal plates, and next thing you know, this thing transforms this bizarre crystal spaceship and strands them on some alien planet like light years away. And that's kind of how the game takes place. But it was an intense game. Like I mean, like people. I don't want to spoil it too much, but people die in it, and like shit gets fucked up. It's a really interesting storyline as well. But
yeah, I mean, it's like a Jesus. It's kind of like it's sad, but it's like it's a genre that's fucking dead almost.
Yeah. Some people are trying to bring it back. They tried to have a new Space Quest Kickstarter, and there's been a few
and it's sad because like.
Back. And I mean, play,
they're very like laid back games, kind of, because like there's no combat, but the puzzles are so clever and so devious.
Yeah,
they're great.
There's a Back to the Future game released for PS3 that was a point-and-click adventure that had the original what's his face do Doc Brown's voice and a spot-on imitator of Marty McFly. So spot on that what's his face Doc Brown guy was quoted as saying like if he wasn't told that it wasn't Michael J. Fox, he never would have known. But that game was kind of a modern-day point-and-click adventure. Like, it took place as expected, but that game didn't get a whole lot of hype or praise. But I played it, and it was fucking awesome. It totally brought back all those old nostalgic feelings of playing the old point-and-click adventure games. I highly recommend it.
I do a pretty good Marty.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, I'll fuck it up now, because I said that. But, it's
What's your
the same
best line? What's your best Marty line?
It's the same as my Rainbow Dash voice, and that's how I noticed it, because people kept watching my dubs and saying, "You sound like Marty McFly, you sound like..." Fucking... Oh, God. What the fuck is a Marty line? Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean? That was terrible.
That's not bad.
That sounded more like Seinfeld than Marty McFly.
Yeah, that sounded like Seinfeld doing an impression of Marty McFly while drunk.
You always know when you say that I'm good at something that you're going to fuck it up.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it works. You put yourself on the spot and you fuck it up.
But, have you ever heard of a game that's based on a short story? I forget by who. Or a novel or a short story. Is it called I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream?
I may have heard about it.
Oh, man. It's like this fucking... It's
Didn't
about
Brad
like...
Jones review the movie?
Maybe. I don't know if there was a movie. It might have been. But it's like this... It's the story about like... It's far into the future. There's only 5 human beings left. There's like this fucking computer that gained sentience and destroyed humanity.
Oh, wonderful.
And this computer...
stories like that.
And he hates humanity so much. And he's so, like, fucking evil. That he keeps 5 human beings alive forever to use as like guinea pigs and just fuck with and torture forever. And like and in the game you play as them as the humans, and it's like a point and click adventure trying to escape the clutches of this. And it's like the most bleakest, most miserable, like deliberately the most miserable game ever.
Wow,
It's fucking
interesting.
great. Like, I've never played
Bet
it.
it is.
I've seen like walkthroughs and shit, and I've always
Yeah.
wanted to read the book or like download the game, but I don't know anything about computers, so I've never been able to download a working version of it.
I'll set you up. How old is it?
I think it's from like the mid '90s or something.
That won't be too hard.
You know, I consider myself something of a gaming historian, I guess. I mean, like, I've played like every game ever that I was able to get my hands on throughout my life, and I definitely feel like I know my shit. But like, there's a lot of games that came out on PC, because I was never a PC gamer, that I never got the chance to play, that people now say are like so great that I never got the chance to play, and I still
Yeah.
and even still today I don't have a very good gaming PC. I have a fucking laptop that sucks shit. I can't even like edit videos on it practically. But like games like the Thief games I always hear about were so good, and like fucking I don't know.
There's a lot of real-time strategy ones too, like Rome Total War and shit like that.
I don't know. I could never get into like RTSs that much. I know guys who are like really into them. I could never fucking do it.
I never
Just
played
'cause I-
RTSs against anything but the computer. It was too hectic and stressful for me to play against an actual human. But I did also like the turn-based ones. One of my favorite growing up was called Master of Orion, and it was a turn-based space expansion kind of.
I've definitely gotten into a few turn-based ones. Like Final Fantasy Tactics was fucking great.
Oh, Tactics was okay. I didn't play the one for PS1. I played the one for Advance, and I played 100 hours of that easily.
Oh, yeah. Supposedly that's just like the PS1 but like better like translation and stuff. I played the PS1 game, and I didn't play when it came out. I played it much later, like when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And with the advanced version, twice in a row, I got almost 40 hours into the game. I think one time 42 hours in the game, and I decided to start over again because I knew so much more about the game. I knew how to set up my characters properly from the beginning, and like, that's one of those just brilliant games where you can get so fucking powerful and the battles get so complicated.
You get like when you like if you do all the secret shit to unlock Cloud, like in the later half of the game.
Yeah.
But it's like you unlock him like near the end of the game, and he's like at level 1, so it's like kind of pointless. But if you level him up, it's so satisfying.
Yeah, I bet. Fucking wonderful. You know what I always wondered, talking about Final Fantasy and leveling up, you know what I always wondered is why Aerith in Final Fantasy VII had all of her limit breaks, as if you could level her up to like 99. I'm sure somebody out there has done that. I'm sure hundreds of fucking fanboys have done that. But I remember looking into strategy guide and like knowing that she dies, spoiler alert, but knowing that she dies and then seeing that she has like all of her limit breaks. I'm like, when would you ever get to fucking use those?
I mean, you know what?
And that gave me false hope, thinking that they might bring her back. Fuck that.
It's definitely cool that they made the effort to give her a reason to playing as her, even with her dying halfway through.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Because I mean, like if they didn't, it would have tipped people off.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I remember, like I must have played through Final Fantasy VII a zillion times in my life.
Yeah.
Like at least like 14 times. Like
my buddy Mark Nicholson got master materia for all 3 of his people, and you get that by maxing out every piece of materia.
That's amazing. He's a good man.
He is a good man.
But I remember the very first time I played it, I had a strategy guide because I was fucking 8 years old. I didn't know fucking shit. But so yeah, I had that spoiled for me that she dies halfway through because you're flipping through the pages.
That sucks.
Like what the fuck kind of strategy guide spoils shit? I'm still mad at that strategy guide. I still have it. I still beat it up occasionally.
Yep, I bet. I actually had a strategy guide for Final Fantasy VII. It was one of those shitty third-party ones that barely had any pictures. But I remember specifically, it was like this yellow book with this black text, and it would have things where it'd be like if you haven't played into this game, like don't read this part, it'll ruin it. And like if you want to like get the storyline, skip down to this part and just learn what you have to do, that kind of thing.
You know what's weird is that even though I've played the game a million times and I know like where everything is and all this fucking shit by now, whenever I play the game again, I still take out the same strategy guide because at this point it's just part of the trip. It's part of the nostalgia trip for me. Like okay, just like when I was a kid, I got the book here and the game there.
Hell yeah,
set
man!
Up. This is fun.
That's how I felt about Earthbound, my favorite game of all time. Before I had my strategy
you get like
guide
a ritual about it.
Yeah, exactly.
But
that's wonderful.
Yeah, but because I had that spoiled, even though I've played the game a million times, I've never really used Aerith a lot. Oh, I did it. I said Aerith.
Aerith?
I swore I'd never do it.
I always mix those up.
I always say Aerith. I have a really fucking bug up my ass about the pronunciation because I'm a fucking fanboy and it just pisses me off the way they fuck with shit. But
so when was the first time you played Final Fantasy VII? What was the circumstance?
When it came out in like '97, I was 8 years old. My cousin Paul had a PlayStation before me. And I've talked about my cousin Paul before with you, I think. I don't know if I said it on the podcast, but like he was 14 and I was like 8, or he was 15, so he was a lot older than me. He didn't have to hang out with me and play games all night because I was just a fucking little kid, but he did anyways, and it was really cool. Played games all the time, and that like a lot of those memories stuck with me. And he had a PlayStation before I did, and I remember we played a lot of what was it? Jet Moto,
Yeah.
Twisted Metal 2,
Oh, yeah.
fucking Destruction Derby, and Star Fox and Gauntlet Legends on the N64. Like,
Nice.
good times. Like, I'll never
Yep.
forget those games. But, like, he got Final Fantasy VII before I did.
Yeah.
And, we would play that over and over again. We'd play, like, for the first couple hours because we didn't have a memory card.
Oh, I think you told me about this once. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'd play just the first part over and over again, thinking, like, man, one of these days we're going to beat this game, but we never could. And then, like, I remember finally getting a memory card and finally, like, getting up to Shinra Tower and fighting all that shit and thinking, man, yeah, we're finally, this is like the end of the game. We're fucking doing it. And they get on the motorcycle. I'm like, holy shit, this cutscene's amazing. These graphics are fucking crazy.
Yep.
And then you're on the motorcycle and you're like, what the fuck is this? The whole gameplay is changing. I'm on a motorcycle now.
Yep.
Thing. And then you fight the big robot and you're like, okay, this is like the final boss. And then mind fucking explodes. You're in a field. The whole world is your oyster now. What the fuck?
Yeah, and then
That
you
was just the
slowly
beginning.
sinks in. It slowly sinks in as you progress through the game that was the intro.
Yeah, that's fucking.
You thought the game was the intro. You know, I swear I've had this conversation like 2 times before, because then I was going to launch into like my story about playing Super Mario 3 and beating the first world, being amazed that there was
I
worlds
don't know
after.
if we've had it on the podcast yet. But we've
Maybe
definitely
not.
talked
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah.
But it's like they tried to do that again. I think. I mean, like if you play Final Fantasy 13, I mean you can tell that Square Enix knows what their most popular games are, and they're really trying to recapture that, but they're just not succeeding because they're fucking hacks and they don't know how anymore.
Yeah.
And like the way that Final Fantasy 13 is, how like you're not really explained everything right away, and it takes like hours of like this linear shit before you get into the open world, and that's really like they're trying to recreate Final Fantasy 7 with that. I felt like, but they
the
took
same
it.
thing about the new Simpsons. It's like they have different writers now, and they're trying to kind of recapture some of the old glory days, and sometimes it's hit and miss. And
Like they tried to do the same thing, but they took it so far that like I mean it was like 40 hours in the intro, and like it's all linear hallways, and you can see the map, which just makes it feel even more linear because you can see that on the map. And then when you finally get like who played that far? Fucking nobody, and I don't blame them. They fucked it up, and the story sucks shit.
My first experience with Final Fantasy VII was reading about it in some like game magazine that wasn't Nintendo Power, one of those evil, questionable ones. It wasn't the Holy Sanctum Nintendo Power, but yeah, we saw pictures of this game called Final Fantasy VII. We didn't know what Final Fantasy was at the time. I had read about the original Final Fantasy in an old Nintendo Power, but I never played it. And we're like, oh my god, look at these fucking graphics. And we assumed that like all the backgrounds would move, they wouldn't be static. So we thought this game would have the best graphics in the entire world. And we weren't disappointed when we discovered that it wasn't like that. We still loved the game, but we were at a sleepover party once with two of my old friends, and this is when we were pretty young. I'm not even sure if we could drive yet, but we popped this thing in, and we basically play up until the point all night long where you're in that town, and you basically have to collect like the dress and the necklace and whatnot. And then you go into that like bathhouse, and you gotta like pretend you're that chick to that sleazy guy. Yeah, we played up to that point. And I remember specifically getting to that one scene where like you'd get in like the hot tub with all those guys, and there's all the gay innuendos and whatnot. And I remember us just like giggling like fucking idiots about that. But we rented it a couple times after that, and finally I just broke down and bought it. And that game was what kindled my love for RPGs. If it weren't for playing Final Fantasy VII, I would never have discovered. Well, maybe I would have eventually, but wouldn't have discovered so early that RPGs are some of the best games.
And for
ever.
a lot of people, it was what made them love RPGs. And that's a big part of why I think people have so much backlash against it, because all these fucking balding guys in their late 30s who are fucking just butthurt that people are younger than them.
Yeah,
and butthurt that
much.
people played a game that came out after their favorite game. Like, oh, they're just mad that fucking Breath of Fire 2 isn't as popular as Final Fantasy 7, and it's just this generational tribalism bullshit. And it's just how dare you fucking like a game, you fucking babies. You played Final Fantasy 7 when you were a kid, and that's why you like RPGs. You must be a fucking baby. Forgetting the fact that if you fucking played Final Fantasy 7 when you were 8, you're 24 now. Yeah. And the fucking guys who are older, you're in your fucking late 30s, and you're bald and you're fat and your dick doesn't work.
Story of my life.
Oh. No, you're in your early 30s. You're still a kid.
That's true. That's true. I'm still a kid to you. Aw. Good old Final Fantasy VII.
You know,
there's another
like
story that I had about Final Fantasy VII. It was regarding Aerith. Remember how I said like I held on in hopes that you could maybe bring her back somehow? Well, back in the early days of the internet, you were a stupid kid, right? And somebody could say anything on a forum somewhere, and you would actually believe it was true, especially if your friend read it and he told you it was true. Nowadays, as an adult and kind of knowing how the internet works, you don't fall for that kind of crap. I don't spend hours on end trying to figure out how to catch Mew in Pokemon Red, listening to these like 11-year-olds make up stories. But that's beside the point. Anyways, he read somewhere that if you defeat all the ultimate weapons and you take the items that you get from them, you get like some weird nothing items, and you bring them to some secret guy somewhere. He'll give you something called underwater materia, which you're supposed to be able to take back to the shrine and like revive Aerith, but like they didn't, or Eris or whatever, fucking pink dressed girl. With her do nothing materia, but yeah, you're supposed to be able to revive her. And like the story goes that like they had to put out the game by a certain deadline, so they didn't finish that part of the game. And we totally bought it like hook, line, and sinker. And like I even maintained that for years afterwards. And recently, I've kind of had to come to terms with the fact that that was basically bullshit. That underwater materia was actually to be used to fight emerald weapons, so you didn't have that stupid timer, so you had enough time to beat them. So yeah, sad.
I wish I fucking, man, how nice would it be to just have this fucking time to go back and play those games again?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I fucking Final Fantasy VIII I want to play so bad again, because it's been a long ass time, and that game's great.
Yeah, and I never understood the junctioning system until the very end of the game. So I should go back through and play it again.
I mean, you got your Spoonie reviews and, you know, whatever. But,
which are hilarious, of course.
Yeah, which are hilarious, but wrong, because that game's fucking awesome. I mean...
You know, I'll tell you an embarrassing story about playing that game. I totally got sucked into the love story between Squall and Renoa. And, like, I thought it was, like, so heartfelt and cute. And, like, I remember being in high school thinking, like, oh, man, if I get a girlfriend, I'm totally going to, like, get her to play this game for me. We'll have, like, this romantic moment in Final Fantasy VIII where they're hugging in space. Sweet Jesus.
That's a good scene, and it's a good song. And, you know...
Yes.
I mean, like... I don't really think that it's, like, all nostalgia to say that game... Because, I mean, like, obviously, it came out in 99. I was 10... I fucking, oh man, a new Final Fantasy, holy fucking shit. The last game was fucking changed my life. And so obviously I was hyped, and like when I played it as a kid, so obviously there's nostalgia there. But I know for a fact I played it again as a teenager, and it was still just as good. Maybe even better, because I was old enough to appreciate some things that I wasn't before. And I want to play it again. I wish I had time to fucking sit down with my buddies.
Yeah, man.
I mean, fuck, that's the shittiest part
when
about
8 first came out,
life.
like, well, yeah, that you'd never have time to, like, capture those carefree days of yore when you have, like, summer vacation and, like, no work, but... I was going to say, when Final Fantasy VIII came out, I'm drunk. When Final Fantasy VIII came out, I didn't even, like, read a review or rent it. I just went straight to fucking Kmart or Walmart or whatever it was at the time. And I bought that, and I bought, like, a DualShock controller to get the extra vibration, everything like that, because I didn't have one of those. And I played it, and I fucking loved it. I mean, I had my complaints. There was things I didn't understand, but I had a great time with it. I probably have a lot more complaints now, and the graphics are a little bit dated. It's hard to get back into games like that, but still.
Yeah, I mean, it's, like... It's real sad to see that, like... Just like Square Enix just sucks so bad now, and the Final Fantasy series is just so shit.
Yeah, it's weird how that happens.
For so long, Final Fantasy meant quality. I mean, it was like synonymous. If you slap that shit on a box, you know this is going to be like a Game of the Year fucking shit.
Yeah.
I mean, from 4 to 10, masterpieces, every single one of them.
Yeah,
and
I would even say 12 is good. I liked 12.
Yeah, I like 12 too.
12, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's almost like they kept on like one-upping themselves, and then they just like peaked.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's fucking sure. Even fucking Kingdom Hearts, like I consider part of like that fucking collection of masterpieces, because Kingdom Hearts 1, woo, that's a good old game.
That was one of the most interesting games I had ever played in my life. I never expected to like it as much as I did. I'm like, Disney with Final Fantasy, like fucking bad combos before I even started it. And then it just turned out to be fucking amazing.
It's like, when did it come out? 2002? Like, I was 13.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, at that age, like, oh, man, all the Final Fantasy characters, that's awesome. But Disney, that's fucking gay, because I'm fucking 13, and I think I'm a grown-up or some shit.
Yeah, and then you secretly like it.
Yeah, and then, like, I played it, and it was awesome. And then, like, when you play it again as a grown-up, you're like, fucking Disney's fucking awesome. Fucking Winnie the Pooh. And that game is, it's incredible how well they meshed. And, like, the story of Kingdom Hearts makes no fucking sense, but in Kingdom Hearts it was tolerable because the story, as much sense as it didn't make, it's Kingdom Hearts the first one had a theme.
Yeah.
And the theme was love, and I'm not talking about that fake Hollywood fucking romantic horse shit that they shoved down your throats from the time you're a kid. I'm talking about real love that like you feel for like a friend, that like kids feel for each other. Like that scene at the end when like he's at the very end of the game when he's on the platform and she's like fading away and he's like reaching. That's heartbreaking.
Yep.
And that's fucking beautiful. That's
the theme you see in Japanese culture a lot more than American culture and their media. Like it's like the friendship theme. Like that's very prominent in anime and whatnot.
And I can't off the top of my head think of anything that so like captured that particular like theme of like
Yep.
just real bona fide like in your fucking bones love
Yep.
for like a friend or like a colleague or like or you know.
They also came up with a brilliant way of like sucking in a gamer like into the storyline, because like it starts off with that girl like what is her name, like Kira or Kyrie or something
Kyrie.
like that. Yeah. You know, you're about 15, 16 when you pick this game up and play it, and so are the characters. And there's like this cute little bubbly girl that your character is like, you know, friends with. And that's the entire first part of the game, is your kind of a little relationship with your kind of cutesy little fantasy that you can live out vicariously. And then she gets fucking taken away, and then you're like shit, and you like spend the entire rest of the game like, oh, when do I get to see her again? When do I get to see her again? It was brilliant. It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, and that's part of why fucking Anita, and not to bring up her, because I don't want to taint this party cast with
Oh yeah.
her
definitely
fucking
not.
shit. But I mean, like, the whole, like, seeing, like, the damsel in distress trope as an automatic negative, which is
Yeah.
bullshit. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, like, Kingdom Hearts, the whole game is you're trying to save the girl, but the way they fucking inject it with this emotion, it's good. It's a good
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. Yeah.
No
Because
one
you're
can
not
say
trying to
it's
save
good.
like a nameless damsel. You're trying to save somebody you truly care about and respect. So, who wouldn't want to do that? Who wouldn't
Yeah,
want
I love
to-
that shit. I love that mamby-pamby fucking fatty bullshit.
Hell yeah,
I
man.
like it.
Like, what was that anime that you turned me on to? Like Gurren Lagann. It was just kind of like a generic mecha anime.
Yeah, that's
Like,
awesome.
Yeah, like none of it really like surprised me that much.
That
It
show
wasn't like
was so
groundbreaking.
fucking bro.
But, yeah, exactly. It was totally bro. It was all about like brotherhood and like support your friends and like, yeah, we're fucking family, we're fucking bros, man. We can do this. We can do this together. You know, we can make sacrifices. We can get through this. And I think the reason like there's that theme in a lot of Japanese media is because there's like millions and millions of them, and they live on this tiny little island. So it's like they kind of have to like get along to some extent. I don't know if there's any validity to that, but I could see that influencing, you know, their
Yeah.
media, as opposed to Canada, where there's like
I can see that.
33 million of us spread across this thin, tiny little
Yeah.
line.
And I mean, like, America is a country devoid of empathy completely. I mean, our whole culture is about
Yeah.
pointing at people in the tabloids and laughing at the freak show to distract ourselves from the fact that we ourselves are also freaks.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's all our culture is.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, the Japanese, that's an interesting culture, for better or for worse. I'm not saying that I'm some, like, animu, like, weeaboo, everything from Japan is great, but I'm
But
saying...
it's definitely interesting. It
Yeah, it's
shows
definitely-
like how geography can like affect like the development of a populace.
Yeah,
Nothing
I've
else.
always wanted to go there and, like, learn the language, even though it'd be fucking pointless because it's going to be a dead language in 20 years anyways. But I mean, it's a cool and I've always liked like the old Wolverine comics where he'd go to Japan and like
Yeah.
find himself and become
Yeah.
like a samurai, and I like that shit.
You ever get a chance to go to Japan and you maybe take along some translator or something like that and like a friend? I guarantee you're gonna have an amazing fucking time. I've been there and it was one of the most incredible experiences of my life because it's like a different world. It's like stepping slightly into the future. There's like trains everywhere and all the buildings are built up and you see technology you've never seen before. I remember that was where I first saw widescreen TVs. Every TV in every store is widescreen TVs. I'm like, whoa, it's like being at the movies. And then like 8 years later in North America, you started seeing widescreen TVs sometimes.
Yeah, I want to travel, man. There's like
Yeah.
so much out there and so much cool fucking shit.
Yeah, man.
I just want to just pimp all over the world. Just
Pimp all over the world.
go out and just be a whoremongering booze fiend outside of my own backyard.
Just spread those wild oats across the entire planet, Genghis
Just-
Khan
just-
style.
Just like
End
when
up
you
being
just
responsible for like 10% of the Earth's population by the time you're done.
exactly. Just like when you finally leave Midgar and you see the whole world stretched before you, and you hop on your chocobo and Cloud goes and fucks chicks. Take them all up to that. Take them all up to that ride in the gold saucer and watch the fireworks one at a time
Oh man,
all
was
night. When you're in
there
that
anything
fucking,
better than Gold Saucer?
there's nothing in life is better than gold saucer. I've yet to have an experience in my actual life that can
That's better than
compare.
Gold Saucer.
That can compare to the gold saucer. God, that's like if I was a billionaire, I'd build the gold saucer in real life. That'd
Yeah,
be like
man.
the first thing I did. I'd have the fucking tubes that you jump down and they take you to different
Yup,
places,
yup.
all the games and
You know how you
fucking-
have the choice, like, or you, depending on your choices in the game, you either go on the date with Tifa or Eris. Did
yeah.
you know that you can actually go on a date with Barrett too?
Yeah,
Like,
and
people
Yuffie.
love them. Oh, I didn't know Yuffie, but
Yep.
I never got the one with Barrett, but that sounded hilarious.
Oh, did you see my Yuffie rap that I posted a while ago?
Yeah, I did, man. That was fucking great. That was fucking
Oh,
great.
man, good. I need more rapping.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd have the gold saucer. I'd build it. I'd even build the fucking desert prison at the bottom of it, and I put all the people I don't like down there. Just let them rot.
Oh god.
Make them race chocobos for freedom. Fuck them.
Do you remember that old like techno dance song called Sandstorm?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever I heard that, like I always would close my eyes and like I would always envision like being in that fucking desert with like the tornadoes and shit like that.
Yeah.
Still to this day, what a wonderful feeling. Oh, Final Fantasy, what happened? How did the mighty fall so far?
It was a mighty fall. All
Was.
because some asshole decided that Final Fantasy XI should be an MMORG.
Oh man, that was one of the biggest failures I've ever seen from any company. That game did not catch on.
I think Final Fantasy XIV was almost a bigger failure.
Ugh.
They managed to fuck it up twice. How do you fuck it up twice in a row
No
with
kidding.
the online stuff?
No kidding. Fucking online games too.
I don't even like MMORG because, but fucking.
I do, but I don't really have any right now that I like.
I
The
don't
best
know.
one I ever played was Ultima Online because you could do anything in it.
Yeah, I'm not against them.
Yeah.
I just feel like the main numbered Final Fantasy games never should have gone down that path because it started the shit.
Oh, I completely agree. Motherfuckers trying to reinvent the wheel. Well, I gotta take a piss again, so yeah. You're welcome to rant and rave about MMORPGs and Final Fantasy while I'm gone. Be right back.
Well, did I ever tell you people the story of the Wolfman? You see, way back, when World of Warcraft, the Cataclysm expansion came out, my girlfriend at the time was really super into World of Warcraft. So she was like, oh, this fucking, she wasn't fat and she wasn't ugly. I know fucking, you think that a girl who plays World of Warcraft is fat and ugly, but no. I've done well for myself, friends. Any girl that I've been with has been a looker, let me tell you. But anyways, she was beautiful, so shut up. So I was hanging out with my beautiful baby girlfriend. She was in line to get Cataclysm on opening night, and we took it home to her house, and we played it. And first, she fucked around, like, oh, wow, there's a dragon, everything's fucking burning. Hey, Jesse, do you want to make a character? Do you want to play World of Warcraft? And I'm like, I don't know, I don't fucking like MMORPGs, I'm not really into this shit, but I did it anyways. And this was opening night of the game, mind you, and they just had that you could play as the wolf people, the werewolf guys. So I made myself a werewolf guy, and I called myself the Wolf Man. Yes, I did. And I played, and I got, I think, to level 11 or level 8 or something, and I was the Wolf Man, and I was killing people. I was eating the carcasses, I was looting them, I was fighting, I was doing the MMO thing. It was pretty cool, it was okay. But the point is, I was the Wolf Man, and since we got it on day one, I was able to get a screen name like the Wolf Man, and I never played it again. But from now until the end of time, anyone who plays it cannot be the Wolfman because I already am, and I don't even play that shit. I took the best screen name, and I left. I took it and I ran. So take that, you fucking MMO nerds. You don't get to be the Wolfman. I'm the Wolfman, baby. Woo!
That was beautiful. I just heard the howl at the end, but I assume your WoW screen name was the Wolfman.
Yeah.
That's the problem with playing MMORPGs these days. Is pretty much any name you can think of, and most any name with a number after it you can think of, is taken.
Yep.
Motherfucker. But there's only one Polybius. There's only one Polybius on my server. And I think only 2 people actually got the joke. I can only remember one of them specifically, but somebody messaged me in private chat and said, like, your name fills me with, like, insanity or something like that and makes me seizure. And Polybius is a reference to an urban legend arcade game, which had, like, flashing graphics and was apparently very, very addictive. And apparently people would see, like, these men in black suits collecting data from it at night or servicing the machine and whatnot.
Awesome!
Yeah.
What's the fucking thing that I did?
Are you drinking tonight?
Why? No, I don't drink.
What's that rumbling sound? It sounds like beverage container and Wendy's cups.
Don't pay no attention to the sound.
Container behind the curtain.
Don't fuck.
Got pills in there too. Wow.
No.
You should probably clean your place up. Probably
Pay
clean it
no
up a little bit
attention
there.
to the man behind the curtain. He's not drunk.
It's Tuborg for me tonight. Bitz and Booze Partycast is sponsored by Tuborg Premium Beer.
Oh man, you know what I was watching just before the Partycast and the Chinese restaurant excursion?
What?
Oh man, I was watching like the Macho Man and Hulk Hogan interviews from before WrestleMania 5 when the Mega Powers exploded and Hulk Hogan and Macho Man had to go to battle over Miss Elizabeth because that trifling shifty son of a bitch Hulk Hogan had his eye on Miss Elizabeth trying to steal him from the Macho Man.
How dare he?
But it was great because like I was watching these interviews today and like Hulk Hogan said like the coolest thing that I've ever seen. Like it started off with like the Macho Man's promo and he's like, Hulk Hogan, I saw you looking at me when I was hoisting Elizabeth on my shoulder in celebration, a moment of jubilation, a moment of happiness. Yeah, I looked in your eyes, Hogan, looking up at Miss Elizabeth, and I saw lust. I saw envy in your eyes. Yeah, you had envy in your eyes, Hogan. And so he was like accusing Hulk Hogan of trying to steal Miss Elizabeth. And Hulk Hogan, and afterwards, Hulk Hogan cut his promo, and he said like the best thing that I've ever heard in my life. He was like, "Well, you know something, Macho? You're right. When I saw you hoist Elizabeth up on your shoulders, I did look with envy in my eyes, and I was filled with envy, brother. But that envy was not for Elizabeth. That envy was because I wanted to be up on your other shoulder, brother."
Wow.
It's like,
wow.
that is like the most perfect Hulk Hogan statement. Like,
Yep.
like say what you want about the man Terry Bollea.
Yeah.
But that statement right there sums up everything that was great about the Hulk Hogan character.
Definitely.
Like, I wasn't eyeing your woman. I just wanted to be on your other shoulder, buddy.
Yep. Sharing the glory.
It's just bro enough and also just like vaguely homoerotic enough that it like strikes that perfect balance of like bro love.
Definitely.
Such a good guy thing.
Yep. Man, I remember when I was a kid, like the coolest person in the entire world to me was Hulk Hogan. I even remember watching that Saturday morning cartoon called Pro Stars. Actually, wait, did that have Hulk Hogan in it?
He was in a cartoon, definitely.
I'm getting it mixed up. I was thinking the one with like Bo Jackson, Wayne Gretzky, and Michael Jordan. I do remember seeing a Hulk Hogan cartoon, but I thought Hulk Hogan was basically like the coolest, like most manly man like in the entire world. And
yeah, definitely.
One time when we were taking a trip, I forget where we were coming back from, but on the plane there was this guy sitting next to me, who kind of had like kind of longish, kind of blonde colored hair, and he's like kind of like balding and whatnot. I remember like I was maybe like 6 at the time, and I asked him like, "Are you Hulk Hogan?" He's like, no, I'm not Hulk Hogan. And I thought he was lying. I thought he was like trying to cover up because he didn't want people to recognize him. And I was like, "You are Hulk Hogan." And I was like completely convinced. He's like, "No, my name is Dave," or something like that. And for the entire flight, I was treating this guy as if he was Hulk Hogan. And I mean, I think like my parents kind of like talked to him like a little bit afterwards. You know, like, thanks for putting up with our son. But he seemed to actually like really enjoy it. I remember him like laughing a whole lot.
The best day of that man's life. He got to be Hulk for a day.
And I got to sit on a plane with Hulk Hogan. That was badass.
Hulk Hogan's he's still cool. I don't care what they say about him. I don't care. Still real to me.
Still real to me, damn it. Yeah, we're gonna have to get old Green Gimmick on here. Talk about his days of wrestling.
Yes. Woo!
Good old wrestling.
What the fuck else do we have on the list of things to talk about? I don't know.
I got Earthworm Jim, Harvest Moon. I also got Battletoads, and also discussing the worst video game endings that you've ever encountered. And I wouldn't mind talking about that.
Oh, okay. You go first.
Okay, well, I'll tell one of mine, and then I'll tell the second one after you've told yours, because I maintain that mine is actually the worst ending of any game. Okay, you remember playing the game Rampage? This is my first one. The game Rampage, it's like, you know, Godzilla and fucking King Kong. You punch down buildings. They had it in the arcade. They had it on the NES, that kind of shit. It's really repetitive gameplay, but it's a lot of fun when you're a little kid. You're climbing up buildings, punching them down, punching helicopters, punching tanks. You're eating people, just destroying shit like that. And the game would start off with a map of America. And I think the first day was California. And you'd play like a dozen levels in California. And all the levels looked half the same. And then you move on to the next state. And you would do that again and again through all 50 states. That was a game. Now, normally, if you're playing this on a Saturday afternoon or with your brother or after school or something like that, you'd play it for maybe half an hour to an hour. You'd get called down to dinner, or like you'd have to like go to sleep or some shit like that, do a chore or something like that. But every once in a while, we'd have a Saturday where we had nothing that we had to do. And more than fucking once, we decided that we're going to fucking beat Rampage today. And it took hours. It probably took a good 6 hours to play this game. And I used to try to get a high score, so I'd sit on top of buildings and punch helicopters because they were worth the most points. Let my little brother knock everything else down. Not let him up there. But when you finally conquer that last fucking state... Oh, and by the way, whenever we'd go through Boise, Idaho, we'd pretend that we were like killing our great-grandmother because that's where she lived. Not that we hated her, we loved her, but we're just like, oh, I hate Grandma Lou, yay! But in any case, when you finally beat the game, when you finally beat every fucking state, the screen kind of fades out and fades back in to like this yucky color of CRT blue with this kind of like pink orangish writing. It just says congratulations. A static image of the word congratulations. After battling through the entire United States of America, destroying every single city and eating every single citizen, congratulations. Yeah.
That's mighty gay.
It was mighty gay. Not in the fun Las Vegas way. So tell us your story of
Oh, Mass Effect 3. Oh my god. Oh, let me tell you. Oh boy. Where do I even start? Oh god. It's just fucking so bad. I mean, I'm assuming most people know.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I don't really know because I don't really know the story of Mass Effect. I'm one of those idiots who never played the games, and it's kind of hard to play them now.
I guess I'll start like at the beginning of why I like Mass Effect.
Give me like a loose rundown of kind of like the story and a couple of the characters, so I know where it's leading to.
So Mass Effect is like it's 200 years about 200 years in the future. Human beings, they discovered this architecture on Mars, that like this technology and these sort of like relays that generate fucking Mass Effect fields, they call them, some science shit, and they find that like right behind Pluto there's like this big fucking thing which they find out is the mass relay, and they find the technology on Mars which helps them make the stuff to use the mass relay behind Pluto, and what it does is it fucking shoots your ass over light speed so that you can go to other parts of the galaxy.
Right.
And they find that this relay is a part of this system of relays that's all over the galaxy of all these different civilizations, and there's just like all these alien races that they meet, and so like the way the story is set up is that it's like about 30 years after that or something, about like maybe 50 years.
Yeah.
But it's like, so there's this galactic council. There's all these different races, and all these races have their own lore and their own backstory and their own politics between them. And there's, some of them don't like each other and all this. And humanity is like the new kids on the block, and they're just like the newest guys up that are a part of this
like
whole galactic
thing. Babies, yeah.
And so like everyone kind of looks down on them, but like humanity is like learning their place, and like the lore was like so well crafted, and like every race has like so much to them. There's so much you can read about, and like this, and like the world is enthralling, and like, oh man, like, and there's a lot I can talk about. Like I could go in a lot about like why the series gradually got shittier, and like it's like the series sort of like it fell into the trap of like going like more actiony and becoming like more Call of Duty-ish, and like everything's darker. But like the first Mass Effect, and the first Mass Effect is still one of my favorite games ever. It's one of the last games that came out while I was still like really in high school, able to play games every day.
Yeah.
And it's still a big part of my life. Like my friends and I still do like the fucking Shepard voice and joke around all the time. Like,
nice.
But I mean, like, what made the first Mass Effect so great is that it's a whole new universe and the feeling of exploration. And you can go to any planet in the galaxy, and you can just ride your fucking car over and find ruins and shit, and find like new bits of lore that like aren't even important to the story of the game. Just like, and like you get to meet all these characters and all these aliens, and hang out with cool aliens and meet these friends from all these different races and learn about them and stuff. Yeah. And just this theme of like exploration, and it has something that the best science fiction always has, that the worst never has, like, and that's the optimism, about you're fucking in space, there's aliens, and it's like there's a threat.
You mean like where the characters are just kind of like always blown away and in awe and like really enthusiastic, like we're fucking in space, this is great, something like that.
Well, not even like the characters, because like I mean in the story, I mean there's like a threat and there's politics and there's a lot of trouble and drama, and there's bad guys coming, but just like the way that it's like the theme of the game, like it just fills you with this like how Star Trek is like this optimistic, you're fucking exploring space, man, and there's still troubles, just like there's trouble now, but it's fucking awesome, you're in space and shit, and it's and like the main theme of the game is like this really like mellow fucking, and it's like fucking, it just like gives you, it's fucking amazing game, and all the choices you make. And then as
like
they
Knights
got
of the Old Republic, right, where you can choose very different paths.
Republic was fantastic too.
Yep.
But I mean, like, BioWare at their absolute best, and it's like, but as the series goes on, it became less about the optimism and more about, it's part 3 now, it's got to be darker, it's got to be fucking, this is Call of Duty, and it's just fucking bullshit. But I'm getting besides the fucking.
What was it about the ending that pissed you off so much? Like, would you even be able to explain it to someone like me who hasn't played the game in a way that'll make sense to me?
I can try. I mean, like, from the very beginning, they set this shit up as a trilogy.
Yeah.
And they said, we're going to do things that are so ambitious. You're going to make choices in the first game, and you're not going to see the ramifications of them all the way until way in the third game. And, and it's like ambitious, like your choices carry over, and there's all these different things, and there's a lot of little ways that they kind of succeeded, but there's so many ways. Like, I mean, it almost seems redundant to say it now, like 2 years after everyone's had their say about it, but the last like maybe 40 minutes of Mass Effect 3 was a fucking slap in the face.
Right.
A slap in the face to its most invested players. The ones who supported the series the most and cared about the story and the lore, it just fucking shat. And it's like, you hear about like bad sequels, you hear about bad endings to things, but it's like things can disappoint you, endings can disappoint you, sequels can be disappointing, but it's not often that something takes a dump right all over the theme and the fucking heart of what the series is in such a profound way. I mean, like, every decision that you thought was building up to something was thrown out the fucking window completely. It fucking put the 3 choices right in front of you at the end. This ending, this ending, this ending. Red, blue, green. Red explosions, blue explosions, green explosions. Deus Ex. They ripped off Deus Ex completely. Combine with the machines, or destroy the machines, or exactly the same endings as Deus Ex. Then. But 10 years later.
I was going to ask you why you thought they did that. Like, why would they do that? Are they just dumb, or did they run out of time, or like?
I think it's a combination of being strapped for time, trying to get it out like year after year.
Yeah.
Combination of that and just good old fashioned fucking incompetence and idiocy.
Being strapped for time, that fucked up Fallout 3's ending. Like, I'll just say it briefly and let you go on, but that fucked up Fallout 3's ending because they pushed it out the door and they finished it. And the very last part of the game where you have to go in that radiation flooded chamber and you're gonna die, but you're gonna save the fucking wastelands. If you have that character, Fox, he's immune to radiation, but if you ask him to go in there, he's like, oh, this is your destiny, not mine. I'm like, what the fuck? So you're saying that you just want me to die? That's fucking bullshit. And they finally came back out and they fixed that, but I guess that was because they were strapped for time and rushed it out. But that wasn't a giant like middle finger to everything the game stood for. That doesn't sound quite as bad as the Mass Effect thing.
And I know that I sound fucking autistic, like everything the game stood for has been disgraced, but no, really, I mean, like the whole theme of the game, when you have a theme, you fucking stick with it. You don't fucking flip shit around and pull something out of your ass at the last minute. It's got to fucking connect, you know?
Right.
And it's like, I mean, Shepard goes up and he meets this the whole universe is at war with the Reapers and they're going to destroy everything. And so the whole series has been about making tough choices and making allies and trying to get all these different races to sort of unite and get over their differences to fucking unite against this threat. Yep. And like the whole theme of the entire series has been, like the melting pot, the diverse peoples coming together and fucking standing for something, you know?
Right.
And they threw it all out the window because at the end of the fucking last game, Shepard flies up into a fucking thing and he meets this fucking glowing Deus Ex Machina god ghost child. I'm not even fucking.
Yeah,
it sounds like I'm making this shit up.
Yeah, I was trying to understand why everyone was so angry about the ending, and I watched some analysis, but.
Yeah, and he's like, you're collecting these like war assets throughout the whole game. You're making allies. You're making tough decisions, none of which fucking matter in the slightest. Because you go up and you meet this glowing fucking ghost kid, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm the fucking architect. 6 times vis-a-vis fucking, and you fucking here's your choices, Shepard. Do you want fucking this or this? And you fucking go, and it's just disgusting. And it's like the fucking plot holes that arose because of it. I mean, you'd have to. I don't even understand how they could be so fucking brain dead. Like a monkey could have written a better ending, and there's been fan fictions that people have written in response that are better endings.
Well, what about didn't they release like an updated ending or something like that? Did you ever play that?
Yeah, they did.
What was that like?
Because the endings. They released a thing that sort of fleshed out the different endings, and made it seem like because the endings of the game, it was literally like, okay, red explosions, blue explosions, green explosions, that's it, it's done. A bunch of shit that's unexplained. Everybody is fucking stranded on a planet now. Nothing's explained. So they made this expansion that sort of like elaborated on each of the different scenarios a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's good that they elaborated on the scenarios, but the fact is, each of the scenarios were all terrible to begin with anyways, and they should have all never happened because none of them made sense in the first place. So all the worst parts about the ending, I mean, they changed the minor stuff, they elaborated on stuff, but the really big problems about the ending, the big thematic problems, are still the same. They still kept. So it's kind of pointless.
Let me ask you this then: if you're possible to just envision for a moment, if you had never seen the first crappy ending originally and you only saw the updated version, like I assume you're still gonna be kind of like pissed off about it because you said it still kind of takes shit on things, but like how much less would you be pissed off? Like, do you think it would have caused quite the stir if they had gone with that second updated ending to begin with?
Well, I mean, it definitely would have been as much of like what the fuck kind of a moment. But I mean, even with the elaborated, the more expanded endings, I mean, it's still thematically all wrong, and there's still big, huge gaping plot holes, and it doesn't make sense, and it's still like, and if you've played Deus Ex ever in your life,
Yeah.
It's a complete ripoff.
Damn.
And it's just like I get the part of it that they were strapped for time or money or whatever, or Microsoft wanted the game out now.
Yeah.
I get that, but the big problems, the big fucking like the main crux of it, it's just like I have no idea how the same team of people who wrote the first game, or most of them anyways, I have no idea how they could just what happened? You'd have to, it's like
It's almost like they tried. They tried.
Yeah,
Like,
they had to, they all got temporary Down syndrome, or they like tried to fuck up.
you know, that
I don't
probably
know,
was
man.
though. Thinking about it, I mean, the 3 games spanned quite a long time. I'm sure not everyone who started on the first game was working for the second and third. And I bet, like, you know, the vision just kind of gets like watered down after a while until finally some exec steps in and was like, listen, we have $300 million invested in this. You guys better fucking get this out on the time and date, because all of our distributors are lined up around the block, you know, trying to get these things in fucking stores. And they're probably just like, well, it's either this or nothing.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I don't know. It's almost heartbreaking to think about, even to
Yeah.
this day. Because I mean, like, the first Mass Effect, I think, like, if you've never played Mass Effect, even with the shitty third one, at least play Mass Effect 1.
Yeah.
It's one of the best games ever, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and there's this part in Mass Effect 1, sort of like near the end, where, like, you know, these mass relays that are connecting the whole galaxy that let everyone travel. I mean, all the different races discovered them at different points. Nobody built them. Nobody knows who the fuck built them. Some old race
Right.
that's died off. And that's like kind of like this mystery at the backbone of the game.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, there's a part at the end of the first game where, like, you go to this planet, which is like one of the planets where like the old race came from, and you meet this like hologram that like tells you this kind of like cryptic like kind of shit, like, and then this and then and it just opens this fucking door to so many other questions, and you're like, this is amazing. I can't wait to the other games in the series to flesh this out. This is like a whole new world. It's blowing my mind, right?
Yeah.
And it's like all those fucking hopes and dreams are just fucking crushed because you get to the end of the third game and the Ghost Kid comes out and he goes, "Oh yeah, you see the Reapers, we made them because you see robots always rise up against people, so we made robots to kill the people so that the people wouldn't make the robots to rise up against the people."
What the fuck?
Every 50 that I'm not making that up. That's actually
That's
what
fucked.
they like. That's why I say like they'd have to be retarded to have written this shit.
Yeah.
That's I mean the story, like what happens to be like the final like revelation about the Reapers.
Yeah.
Literally is that robots always rise against their creators, so they created a race of synthetic life whose purpose was to destroy organic life, so that organic life would not build synthetic life to destroy organic life.
That's so fucking convoluted.
And it's like, what race of people would be this stupid to unanimously
Yeah.
do something that retarded? And like, and I think I know that I think I can like sort of justify it in my head that they were going for something else. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, because like in the extended versions of the endings, they tried to like add in more dialogue to try to cover themselves up and explain themselves better.
Right.
It's like, no, what happens is that the races reach their full potential, and when the Reapers destroy a race of people, they take all their knowledge and build a new Reaper out of it so that their information can be stored forever, which makes a little bit more sense, but still, it's convoluted and fucking horrible, and the way they went about explaining it made no sense. And fucking, why the hell was Joker running away from Earth? Why did he leave Shepard to die? Why is the fucking god? Why does it look like the little kid? And why are they stranded on a planet in the middle of nowhere? How did they get to the planet if the mass relays blew up so they don't have the light speed travel to even get to another planet? Wouldn't the fucking galaxy be destroyed if the things blew up? Why would you fucking why would one of the endings be combining? I mean, one of the endings is that you say, oh, okay, synthetic life and organic life can't live together in harmony, so we're just gonna. I mean, that's the whole crux. That's the whole crux of the story. At the end of it is that synthetic life and organic life cannot live in harmony. So you have to make these 3 choices, even though a half an hour before there was a mission where you did make peace. Before, between the robots and the organics, and it's like, did you not even play was it written by like a whole separate team and then wrote the rest of the game?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Like a separate team wrote like the last couple hours of the game.
It's unbelievable.
Like
it's mind blowing, and like
that's crazy.
So all these 3 choices hinges on the fact that humans that organics and synthetics can't live together in harmony. So the choices are either Shepard becomes like King of the Reapers and makes them fly away,
Yeah.
or you destroy all synthetics in the universe, including your allies, including the fucking whatever, or you fucking go and it blows up and the fucking green space magic flies throughout the galaxy and gets into everyone's skin and against their will turns people into half synthetic, half organic hybrids, everyone in the universe. And that's the one that really gets me, because like when the whole theme of the game is that different cultures can work together, one of the endings is that you just make everybody the same race and just make this eugenics fucking nightmare where everybody's half robot.
Wow. That's fantastically catastrophic.
And it's unbelievable.
Wow, yeah. I honestly don't think my worst ending of all time tops that now. I think that's the worst ending of all time.
And I was gonna talk about God of War 3's ending after this, but fuck it. I mean, nothing beats Mass Effect 3's ending.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god.
All right. Well,
my god.
Let me talk about the best ending of any game I've played, and then I'll mention quickly my worst ending. But of course, my favorite game of all time, Earthbound for Super Nintendo. The general plotline is some crazy evil force comes to Earth called Gigas or Gygas or something like that, and it's making animals go crazy, and there's a bunch of aliens that come with it, and they're trying to take over the world, that kind of shit. And asteroid crashes, and you're a 13-year-old kid who happens to have psychic powers, and you fight through insanely wacky scenarios to get to the end. I shouldn't get into it too much, because if I do, I'll never shut up, but near the end of the game, it basically, you come to the point where you have to travel back in time to finally face Gigas, like in his first form before he came to Earth. But the thing is that you can't transport organic matter back in time, so you basically have to make the decision to transfer like your spirit or your consciousness into these robots. But the thing is, after you do that, you never transfer back, and the whole game is like kind of like it's kind of cutesy and lighthearted and fun at times. Sometimes it gets kind of serious and whatnot, but it's actually a lot more serious than the graphics would let you think.
I still really, I've never played it. I've seen it played. I've always wanted to.
Oh, it's fantastic, a fantastic storyline and hilarious too. But in any case, so you transfer your consciousness, your soul to these robots, and you go back in time. The music is kind of weird and off-putting, and you battle your way to Gigas and whatnot. And when you're fighting him, the fight's long and hard, and like finally you kind of get to this last form, and he's basically just like invincible. Like he's kicking your ass, and nothing you can do is going to beat him properly. Now there's this one character, the female character in the game. She has a special move called Prey, which does like a random status effect. Sometimes it'll heal all your party for like 6 hit points. Sometimes it'll make everyone burst into tears, so they're like blind, they can't do anything. Sometimes it'll cause tons of damage to the enemy. It's always completely random, and it's basically fucking useless. But at the very end of the game, you're basically supposed to use this Prey command constantly, and when you start doing it enough each turn, all of a sudden it cuts to a cutscene, and you remember like the friends who helped you out back here, and suddenly they thought of Ness and his friends, and
I love that.
Very,
I love
very
that
hard in their hearts for him, and then it does a whole bunch of damage to Gigas. The next turn you do it again, and it's another set of people you saw who helped you on your journey, and finally you do it like 9 times until the very last person is you, the player, because the game tricks you into entering your like actual name at a couple points in it, and it's like Johnny prayed for the well-being of everyone, and that does like the final fucking hit. And when you finally destroy Gigas, you actually see your souls get transported back into your bodies, and you all wake up. And the ending of the game is so brilliant because basically you have to walk Paula, the girl character, back home. The other people kind of go their separate ways. We defeated this evil. You have to walk her back home, and then you get control of the character again. And you can go straight back home. You can go straight back to like her house and drop her off, or you can go straight to your house and see the credits. Or you can wander around this giant world and explore and see what's changed. Like, for example, this like street punk that you beat up in the start of the game, when you go back to your hometown, he's like straightened up and he has a job and he's like working at the pizza store now. And there's all sorts of little subtle changes like that you get to explore. Wonderful, wonderful idea for an ending.
That is awesome.
Yep. And the worst ending to me of all time was Mega Man Soccer. That's right, they made a soccer game about Mega Man. And we played that way more than any fucking air-breathing, red-blooded human should ever play. Because it kind of sucked. But there's tournament mode, this giant fucking tournament mode where you get like a new character. You beat Fireman's team, you get Fireman on your team, and you can use Fireman, all his special powers. And you go through this whole tournament. It takes you like the whole fucking day. And normally when you beat a team, afterwards it shows a score and it shows a member of their team run out like into the middle and kind of jump up and down and run off and join your team. When you finally beat the very final fucking game, it doesn't show you the score. It doesn't show a cutscene. Like the game ends and it fades to black and it fades right back in the title screen. And the first time we saw this, we thought we had maybe pressed a button and skipped through it, so we played through it all the way again. And sure enough, fades to black and goes back to the title screen. What's the fucking point? Like, all that fucking effort, you don't even give me a special password or like show the fucking credits or say thank you or congratulations, you've proved the justice of our culture, anything like fucking that. Bullshit. Bullshit.
That is fucking bullshit.
Doesn't sound as bad as the Mass Effect ending, though.
I don't know. And that's a conundrum. Like, would it have been better if Mass Effect 3 just had no ending
Huh.
and just like faded to black, like the fucking Sopranos?
Oh, spoilers! I haven't seen Sopranos.
I don't know. I will say that like we did get one good thing out of the ending of Mass Effect 3, and that's the fact that when they released after they released the extended editions, I mean, because people were so fucking angry at BioWare, they had to alleviate people somehow.
Yeah.
So they released this expansion where it's like one last mission with Shepard and the crew.
Yeah.
And it's like all your allies from all the games, and you just get together and have like a fucking party at Shepard's apartment, and that's the whole expansion pack.
Nice.
And that's
Actually
one of the
kinda cool.
best things. I mean, I guess that's a pretty okay way to say you're sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
That's definitely an apology. It's definitely an apology.
yeah, because that was my favorite part of the Mass Effect series, not the fucking shooting and fighting, just exploring the galaxy with your buddies and meeting cool people. And so like that's cool.
That's awesome.
But like, yeah, when you said best endings, I jotted down a few real quick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I said, Mass Effect 1, when you beat the game, you had this feeling that like there was so much more. That's a good memory. I can cross that off now. I'm gonna go through most of them fast because I wrote a bunch. Resident Evil 1 had a cool ending. Like, I mean, just like at the time, I mean, you fight this fucking tyrant. He's fucking humongous. He's kicking your ass. All of a sudden, you get the rocket launcher. Boom, boom, boom. This fucking shows it from 3 angles. He blows up. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Fly around in the helicopter. That's like iconic. And then
Oh,
Resident Evil 3, the whole fucking town gets nuked. That's crazy. Final Fantasy 7. I know I fucking harp on Final Fantasy 7 like every 10 minutes of my life. I never fucking stop
Yep.
Googling about this game. That was really fucking cool.
Yeah.
I like that game a lot. I mean, the fucking ending is open. Oh, you don't know. It's sort of open-ended what happened until the fucking sequels came out and fucking dumped on everything.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that someday. Fucking, I hate that.
Yeah.
But it's really like nice and Cloud and fucking what the fuck? Lion King on Sega Genesis.
Lion King, eh?
You beat the game. You fight Scar on top of Pride Rock. You throw him off the game. You throw him off Pride Rock, and then seamlessly, like Simba sort of stops there on the mountain, and the screen turns dark, and it rains, and the fire goes out, and it just plays like the 8-bit version of like the song. I totally forgot about that. That always stuck with me for some reason. I always because when you're a kid, it takes you a long time to beat games because you're a fucking idiot. You know,
exactly.
motor skills. So when you finally do it, it sticks with you, and I'll always remember that ending.
Yep.
Fucking every Metal Gear Solid had an amazing ending.
Yeah.
Metal Gear.
I only played the first one, but it did have an amazing ending.
Yeah, I mean, they all they get like Metal Gear 1. They get philosophical, and he talks about life and the fucking like because like Snake's like this gruff fucking badass. Snake in Metal Gear Solid 1 doesn't really have like a very fleshed out personality. He's just kind of like a basic badass guy with like a dark past.
Yep.
That you're supposed to, but at the end, after everything's over, he sort of gets really introspective and philosophical, and you realize there's a lot more to this fucking character, and it's really cool. And it's even better if you get the Otacon ending, which I mean, it's sad that Meryl dies in the Otacon ending, but if you get the Otacon ending, when he gets on the fucking on the snowmobile, and he's like, and Otacon's like, "What's your name?" And he's like, "It's Dave," and he's like, "What's your name?" And he's like, "It's Hal," and he's like, "Oh yeah, Hal and Dave." That's a good one. Let's fly this thing to Jupiter. And they fucking get on. That's beautiful. And they ride off on their snowmobile together and become best bros. And Metal Gear Solid 2 had a great ending. I mean, Metal Gear Solid 2's ending was like a total mindfuck because it gets so plot twisted. You realize that like the entire, I mean, to go into this Metal Gear Solid 2 story would take a long time.
Yeah.
But suffice to say, you get to the end, turns out everything you knew was just fucking flipped on its head and it's a total lie. And it's like, oh my god, what's going on? And the thing is that Metal Gear Solid 2 was meant to be the last game in the series. They all wanted to be done with it. So the ending goes in this really like off-kilter, like philosophical sort of direction. Like it doesn't matter what happens next in the story. The story is over. It's up to you to decide. It's up to you. And it really breaks the fourth wall. And it's really like hard. It's really it's very fucking avant-garde to use a hipster term. But I like the ending of Metal Gear Solid 2 always stuck with me because it was just so fucking different and so like philosophical and nice. I mean, and then you got Metal Gear Solid 3. I mean, I'm just spoiling the whole series. I don't fucking care. Big boss. He has to kill the boss. It's the fucking saddest fucking thing in the world. She was a real American, just like Hulk Hogan, just like Green Arrow, just like fucking JFK. She died for her country, and no one gives a damn. They fucking this rotten country, which is rotten to the core. This government used her up and spat her out. and and Big Boss is standing there by her gravestone. He knows that her sacrifice is going to be forgotten by history forever. No one's ever going to know what she did. She was going to go down in history as a traitor forever, and he's standing at her gravestone, and he just fucking salutes, and that one manly tear, and that fucking song. I'm crying right now. I can't take it. I can't even do it. I can't. I just can't. It's too much. I can't. And he goes.
Anyone who says that video games aren't art are fucking
absolutely.
retarded. They can fucking move you, man. A video game can fucking move you just like a movie can.
And he goes, and Lyndon B is like, shake my hand, because you're a hero. And Big Boss looks at this motherfucking Japan nuking motherfucker. Looks in his fucking eye. Was that Lyndon? I think it was Lyndon who did that. But he looks in his fucking eye, and he's like, I'm not going to shake your hand. You're a cunt. I hate you. I hate this country. I'm going to go be the antagonist now and start my own nation. And he fucking goes and he cries at the tombstone, and it's just a beautiful thing. And then Metal Gear Solid 4, baby. Ooh, baby, it's a wild world. Metal Gear Solid 4. I can remember this vividly because it was 2008. I was just out of high school. I was an adult, so this is. 2008 was like my last hurrah as a gamer, really, because I'm old, Yeah. I don't have time for it anymore. That's like, it's the last moment where you still get to be a kid and still get to be a gamer. So I vividly remember the games of 2008, and it was a double whammy. It was Metal Gear Solid 4 and Persona 4. And I'll go into Persona 4 right after this, but Metal Gear Solid 4, I remember it so well because like Metal Gear Solid had been my life for 10 years since 1998, and I've been invested in these characters for so long. And I was so anticipating this game, and Metal Gear Solid 4 came out. And nowadays, people, in hindsight, will say that Metal Gear Solid 4 story kind of dropped the ball a little bit. I completely disagree. To be there in that moment, I can't think of something that I was that invested in. Metal Gear Solid 4's ending, to me, was as good as Mass Effect 3's ending was bad. Everything was perfect. I mean, like, the emotions and the themes of the characters' arcs, it's all wrapped up so perfectly and neatly in a little bundle. Fucking Solid Snake, he's fucking old because he's a clone. He's only like 40, but his body's old and he's fucking dying, and he's got fucking fox die. And one last time he saved the world and freed people from this war economy that's like choking the world. Yeah. And fucking, so he saved the world again, but he's old and his time's done, and fucking everyone's off. Meryl is getting married to Johnny. His old flame is marrying this dude, and fucking where's South? Yeah, and fucking, and everybody's at this wedding, like celebrating. I mean, and at first you have that amazing final boss fight with Ocelot, where like he's sort of like possessed by Liquid's personality, and as you're fighting him, you're sort of like beating the Liquid out of him, and the music is like changing to like the themes of the different games, and like and his personality gradually gets more like his old self, and eventually he's old Ocelot again. And it plays the Metal Gear Solid 3 theme, and you have that last fight on top of the whatever. And it's so fucking awesome and great. And you go, and so it's all over. He saved the world. Snake's fucking, he's done. Where the fuck is Snake, man? Everybody's at this wedding. Otacon's there. All your friends are there. And little Sunny, the little girl, she goes to Otacon, and she's like, Otacon, where the fuck is Snake? And Otacon's like, Snake had a hard life. And it's like, oh my God, is Snake dead? What's going on? I can't do it, man. Yep. And then it's like, and then it cuts to Snake, and he's at the cemetery. He's at Arlington, and he's standing at fucking Big Boss's grave, and he's saluting that shit, and then fucking Big Boss shows up, and it's like, what the fuck? Yeah. and Snake's like, no, I can't be trailed. Oh my God, no, Big Boss. And fucking Big Boss is like, yeah, it's me, Big Boss. I'm your father. I'm back from the dead. I was never really dead in the first place. And it's like, oh my God, what's going on? And I'll tell you what's going on. Oh my God, tell me about it. Yeah. And it's like, and Big Boss fucking tells you this big fucking spiel that just wraps all these big plot holes up. It's like, what's Kojima gonna do with all these plot holes? Big Boss fucking swoops it all. He spews out all this fucking shit that just connects everything. Like, oh yeah, by the way, Sigan turned out to be the DARPA chief. He died in Metal Gear Solid 1. They were all part of the fucking the 6 guys. They started the fucking Patriots. Bet you didn't see that coming. Hideo Kojima, motherfucker. And it's like, oh my god, how did this happen? My mind is reaching all these new areas. And fucking, and Snake's like, oh my god, Big Boss, I have to fight you at the gravesite. And Big Boss is like, no, we're not gonna fight because you're old. And I'm telling you, fucking, I made a mistake. I misinterpreted the boss's will. Oh my god. And I was wrong. And fucking, she wanted the world to be, like, unified. But I went about it the wrong way. And Zero went about it the wrong way. And dude, you gotta stop fighting, man. Your fight's over, Snake. Ugh. You gotta enjoy the time you have left, dude. And then fucking he imparts these words of wisdom to Snake. You gotta enjoy the time you have left, dude.
Yeah.
Like Hulk Hogan. And then he's fucking sick because Snake has the fox dye in him that contaminates anybody with his genes. That's a plot point from way back in Metal Gear Solid 1. Fucking Kojima doesn't forget about this shit. It's all fucking... So now he says hello to Snake. He says, imparting my final wisdom, sonny boy. And then Big Boss is dying finally. And he says, Snake, I'm fucking dying. Take me over there to that gravestone there. That's the boss's grave. She was my mentor. She was a hero. And this rotten asshole country spewed her up. Pooped all over her legacy. And then that's why I was a bad guy for a little while. But I'm not really a bad guy. And Snake's like, okay, I'll take you over to there. And he's like, oh, God, I'm so sad. And everybody fucking dies. And no one cares about soldiers. And then he says, give me that fucking cigar, boy. And he puts the cigar, and they fucking hug. And that fucking song, Father and Son, plays. And he's like, this is good, isn't it? And like, yeah, it's real good, yeah. And then fucking that happens, and then Snake fucking salutes Big Boss, and then the fucking credits roll. Then at the end of the credits, you hear a fucking Otacon. He's like, hey, Snake, how come you're not smoking? Snake's like, I gave it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And like, I remember vividly, me and all my friends, we all bought it at the same time. And that in the big fucking house, you know how when you're kids, you all have the one house that you all congregate at our fucking pad, you know?
Yeah, so hell yeah, man.
At the same time, and we were all in different parts of the story, so we were all playing it on different TVs in different rooms of the house.
Yeah.
And we would like come into the other rooms like, holy fucking shit, you see what just happened? No, man, I'm not there yet. I'm like, holy fucking shit, what do you see this?
Man.
And it was like one of the best game experiences ever.
Yeah,
and
sounds like it.
And I think I was the first person to make it to the end, and it was late at night. And I was in the hallway on an old crummy TV in the middle of this hallway in the basement, like cooped up with my fucking PlayStation 3 in the hallway so nobody else could see and have it spoiled for them. And like for this TV at like 4 a.m, seeing it. And I'll never forget it. It was amazing. It was like the best thing ever.
Yeah, sounds like it. I don't even know how to follow that.
Yeah.
I'm speechless. I'm really speechless.
And then fucking
play Metal Gear again.
Persona 4 came out the same year. And that was like another of the best games I've ever played in my life. That's another game that stuck with me. I mean, like...
Hold on, I gotta take a whiz first.
Oh, man.
All right.
Guys, Johnny's going to take this whiz, and then I'm going to tell you about Persona 4. I'm going to skip out the ending because I don't fucking care. I'll put little things. You can skip this shit if you want to fucking play it for yourself. I don't even give a shit. Oh, why did I say that? Now I'm actually going to have to do it and go through and label the chapters. I fucking hate doing that. It's a pain in the ass. And now that I said it, I have to do it. Jesus Christ, I never know when to quit. Where's Johnny? He's pooping. I pooped once. I pooped 3 times today. Man, I'm telling you. I think what's happening is that I'm so fat. I've reached such a critical level of obesity that my body is just literally rebelling. And it's just like, no, goddammit, you're not going to get any fatter. You're just going to shit every fucking 10 minutes until you're skinny again. So I've just been shitting like a motherfucker. You said it. Me. Oh, God. Why are we walking like this? Who's driving? Oh, my God. Bear's driving. How can that be? Hey! Oh, man. I hate pooping, man, though. Pooping's gross. Slides out of your butt, and you can feel it like every inch of the way sliding out of your butt. Oh, God. It's horrible. I hate having a poopy butt. I hate wiping. I hate looking at the toilet paper. I hate the fact that, like, every, like, person poops. Like, even the most beautiful girl in the world poops. Like, if you see, like, the most beautiful girl you've ever seen in your life, like some girl that you have a crush on or that you're totally in love with, she poops. She has an asshole, and she farts when she's alone, and she sits on a toilet, and she sweats, and she strains. She takes her shirt off and looks at her fucking flabby fat rolls in the mirror, and she grunts and fucking snorlaxes and sweats and pushes a greasy, slimy, smelly shit out of her butthole. Even girls do it. It's fucking gross. I hate poop, man. I hate poop. I hate poop and I hate Mass Effect 3. It's the 2 things I hate right there. The only 2 things I hate. I'm an easygoing guy. I like everything else. I like everyone else. I'm a cool dude. I'm one hippy dippy groovy fella, man. You know, I love all the people, love everybody, but don't like pooping. Don't like Anita. Don't like Mass Effect 3. That's the only 3 things.
Pooping, Anita, and Mass Effect 3. I'm not sure what I missed, but they seem to have some sort of common theme between them.
Yeah. So Metal Gear Solid 4 came out in the summer of 2008. Later in that year, Persona 4 came out. And I had played Persona 3. Persona 3 was a really great game. Persona 3 is a game that sort of like, even though it's the third one in the series, no one played the first 2. It sort of came out of nowhere and became like a really big thing all of a sudden.
Right. Or one of the sequels is like the kind of thing that people start off on.
Yeah. And so Persona 4 comes out and I was fucking ready. I was pumped for it. Persona 4 is so fucking phenomenal of a game. Fucking the style and the presentation of that game, the music. It's just, I remember the first time I fucking turned that fucking game on and just being blown away by, like, this is the coolest fucking shit I've ever seen. The yellow and the fucking music, like, and you fucking, it's great.
Never played it.
Oh, man. It's like this huge fucking, this big, like, psychological, like, sci-fi adventure. And it's got all this, like, it's like sort of like a sci-fi, like, adventure, but it's got all this, like mythology shit, like, mixed into it.
Yeah.
Which, like, that's sort of like what the Persona games are. Like, they mix in, like, mythology with, like, contemporary settings and stuff.
Yeah,
and
I've seen them play it a little bit. Like, I've seen, like, the battle system is kind of loosely, like, Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah, and it's really cool, because, like, the way the story is, like, oh, man. Well, like, the whole game, well, like, I talk a lot about, like, theme. Like, I think theme is, like, the most important thing in, like, making a story stand out.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, the basic building blocks of stories, they've all been done. There's, like, you know, there's however many basic kinds of stories. But, like, theme and, like, what you put into it, like, the soul, motherfucker, the heart you put into shit is what brings out. Like,
that's why Final Fantasy used to be so good. Every game had, like, a theme, like life or love or friendship or things like that.
And, like, so, like, the theme of Persona 4, like, you make friends and you sort of go into, like, their own, like, inner, like, the levels in the game are all, like, the people's, like, inner demons and, like, their inner like, headscapes. And you fight, like, you fight these monsters that are, like, manifestations of, like, what they hate about themselves and, like, their flaws and shit. Yeah. And it gets, like, really deep and in-depth about it, and it's, like, and it's really well written. So, like, the whole theme of the game from start to finish is, like, accepting, like, your flaws and accepting your friends' flaws and being there for your friends and this, like, friendship and, like, loyalty and, like, fucking all that fucking good shit.
Yeah.
You know? And, like, and the whole theme of the game is, like, these bonds of, like, friendship.
Huh.
So,
very Japanese, like I was saying before.
Exactly, and it's like, and there's a bad ending, and there's a mediocre ending, and there's a really good ending. And they get the good ending, you have to do a whole bunch of, like, shit, and it's really easy to miss. Like, you could fuck up and get, like, a shitty ending and not know what the hell happened.
Oh, that sucks.
Kind of things. But if you play the game well, which I do all the time, because I'm the best at everything, then you get to, like, so, like, I guess, like, most people, the game ends and you're like, oh, okay, that's the ending. But if you've done everything right, no, motherfucker, the game goes on for, like, a whole, like, 10 hours after that, and there's, like, a whole new fucking layer to it, right? So, like, like, after the shitty ending or whatever, so, like, you go and like, blue, and you fight this fucking big-ass fucking, you finally meet the big-ass motherfucker, King Deity, King Shit.
Yeah.
Izanami prick
Head
bastard.
honcho, the big boss.
Yeah, the big cheese, the chairman of the board, the captain and commander, who's behind all of this crazy shit. And it's like, you can't fucking defeat me. I'm Frieza. I'm Sergeant Slaughter. I'm the big bad. I'm Ric Flair. You can't beat me. But, so you're standing together. It's like your last stand with all these friends that you've made throughout the game. And you're fighting this big final battle. And what got me thinking about it is because it's just like you said, the ending of Earthbound. You fight the final battle, and it does this attack. It wipes everyone out to, like, 1 hit point. And you're like, you can't beat this guy. And then, like, your friends, and it like shows, like, all the relationships that you've made throughout the game, like, even like the optional characters that you've befriended. Yeah. And they all, like, show up to, like, offer these words of encouragement, and each one, like, makes you stronger. And they're like, you can do this, and blue, and just like Gurren Lagann. I guess it is like a Japanese, like, sort of theme that you don't see a lot of it. But it's like, and all these different relationships that you've met throughout the game, they come and they offer their encouragement, and the fucking music is fucking blaring out of control. This, like, crazy theme, just like a remix of the main theme, but, like, in hardcore mode, just the final boss, like,
It's like, you can do it, motherfucker. You're the king. Fucking Hulkamania's running wild, dude. Hulk Hogan believes in you. Ooh, yeah, the Macho Man believes in you, too. Hey, man, it's your best friend, Vegeta. I believe in you, too. You're my best bro. It's me, your old pal Goofy. You can do it, son. My old son, Maxi Pad. Yeah.
It's all your fucking friends. Rambo's there.
Nothing is over.
Fucking the Ninja Turtles.
Hey, it's me, Donatello. You can do it, dude. Yeah.
All my best friends were there. Fucking everybody ever. All your
Beautiful.
friends and you fucking the power of just being a cool dude and having good friends, and you beat it, and and after you beat it, and if you get that good ending and you do all that fucking final boss shit, you get this like really uplifting, like happy fucking ending, and it feels like you really earned it.
So it's totally worth it in the end.
Yeah, and it's so like thematically perfect. It follows the fucking structure of the story of the game emotionally, which is something that Mass Effect 3 completely fucking failed to do.
Apparently, yeah.
And I don't know, like I guess like the reason that it sticks out to me, like after all this time, like I'm still so fond of that game, is that so this was in like December of 2008. So I had just gotten out of high school.
Yeah.
In summer of 2008. And where do you go from high school? I mean, everyone knows that's when your fucking friends are going to split up. Everyone's going to go separate ways. And that's fucking depressing. It's still depressing to me. It's a
Especially
trying...
when like you could never imagine your life without them, and you're like, wow, what if we go our separate ways? I couldn't imagine. That'd be so horrible. We're gonna be friends forever.
Like, yeah, and like me and my friends were like so close. We were such a tight-knit group, and we still are to some extent. But it's like, where are we going to go from here? We're all going to have to fucking go somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, and you worry about that shit. But then this fucking game comes out, and the whole fucking theme of the game is that these fucking guys are going to be with you forever, man, because you're part of each other.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And that sticks with you.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm telling you, man, video games are art. They hit you in the feels.
This has just been like the Drowning in Footwork Crycast.
Well, I've enjoyed it. I was gonna say earlier when you were talking about like games that like make you tear up and shit. I can think of one in particular. No, it wasn't when fucking Aerith died, but Final Fantasy IX. There's always like that kind of like pseudo relation between the main character Zidane and like the typical black-haired Final Fantasy seductress Dagger and whatnot. And all throughout the game, there's like this play that is apparently like popular throughout this kingdom and this world called like something about like a caged canary or something like that. And at the very end of the game, basically like your main character kind of like sacrifices himself to kind of defeat the final boss, but still kind of befriends him in the end. So, like doesn't blame him. It's like this kind of very bittersweet thing, and everybody rushes out of there. And it shows like a few years later, and finally like like they're showing you this actual play, and they start up the play, and you get to see the play, and you get to see how like the play kind of like has parallels to the storyline and the characters and whatnot. And basically I think it's like Princess Dagger or whatever her name was is like watching this play. It's years later. She's maybe not years later, but it's a while later, and she's having this put on her kingdom. She's watching it, and it comes to this one part of the play where like this character is supposed to say something. This close character, and he like stops for a second, and then he finally like throws off his cloak, and he's like Dagger, come to me, or something like that. And then it goes to the cutscene, and like this whole time you're convinced that he was dead, and that's how they were going to end it, and you had already accepted it. And then when they like throw that kind of like what would normally be a cheesy schmaltzy ending at you, they kind of play both sides of it, and they throw that at you. It's nothing but you can't help but have tears stream down your face because then it cuts to the cutscene and you see the character run down, and she like hugs them, and kind of like hits the chest a couple of times, like you bastard, like you asshole. But it's fucking beautiful, man. I love that
Why
stuff.
aren't they written that well anymore? What happened?
I don't know.
Final Fantasy IX, so fucking underrated. Such a masterpiece. I mean, they're all masterpieces in my opinion.
But that's the most
one that's like
underrated
kind of like a black sheep, sort of. No one even talks about it.
Yep. But it was good.
And it's like
the only person I've ever heard talk about it is Spoonie, who said he just couldn't get past the art style. And while I can kind of understand that,
it makes me mad.
Yeah, it makes me mad too. But still, the game was wonderful. It's a great game.
And it's like
that's one of those games where like shit gets really, really fucked up. You'll spend half the game, or it feels like half the game defending the city from some attack, and then it turns out that shit gets fucking fucked up, and that city is blown off the fucking face of the earth.
Yeah, that fucking part.
You're like, what do we do now?
Near the end of the game, where you go to that like the other dimension, and you find out that like he's part of this other race of like, and you meet like his little sister, who's like not like yes, that's fucking. And it's like the part about that game that always sticks to me is near the end of the game when like. And it's that same fucking thing where like Zidane is like completely given up hope, and he's like sitting in that like throne and that like shitty place, and he's just like stumbling around like I don't fucking give a shit, and that fucking song plays like bow bow
Yeah.
And the fucking and you meet all your friends one by one, and they're like, "You fucking pussy, we're your best friends. We're all here for you." And it's like, and you sort of, it's like that. That's like, I like that. Anytime that you fucking have that fucking trope in something, I guess it's a good one. I like it.
Yeah, it is. It is a good trope. It's a positive trope.
Yeah, and that scene always. That's the scene that I always like zero in on in my memory and remember vividly because it's like, it's nice. It's nice, and I like it.
Yeah, they could have more of that in like popular media. Like I said, we don't really get that in North American media. You don't see TV shows like, well, other than maybe like fucking My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic, really promoting like strong, proper friendship between people. But the Japanese do it in like a specific way that I've never seen anyone else do. They do it frequently as well. All about the family honor.
And that's like, I don't know. Maybe it's because like America, or like Western culture is so focused on romance, and like a man and a woman, like true love and all that fucking bullshit. Because that's what you get shoved down your throat here. Probably because of feminism. I'm sure that everything can be traced back to feminism in one way.
I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure. But no, well, the romance that we get here is kind of like, it's basically like a drug. Like it's scenes arranged, like designed to like elicit a certain emotional response.
It's fake and gay, and it's not healthy.
Yeah, exactly. Because like okay, for example, I didn't actually watch this entire movie, but I saw scenes from it. The Will Smith movie. I forget what it is, but he's like this dating guru, and he helps this guy like.
Oh God.
Yeah, but in the end, like, there's just like this woman that he finally hooks up with, and she kind of like snubs him. And, like the final scene is like him like literally like chasing her car down in the streets and like hanging onto it, like, no, you need to hear my feelings or something like that. And of course, it ends up in this wonderful romantic thing, and they get together.
Guys,
he gets
never
the girl,
chase a motherfucking bitch's car down
the
street.
Yeah, I mean, if you did something like that, it's weird how it seems to work in the movie. But if you actually did something like that, like there'd be like a restraining order against you, or you'd like fall off, or you get like arrested. Like that's fucked up. A lot of movies are like that.
Guys, don't ever be nice to women. It's a fucking trap. It's a trick. It's not real. It's fake. They don't like it. They fucking hate it when you're nice to them.
Well, that's not necessarily true, but
it's pretty true. It's not completely true, but it's pretty true.
I think they hate it when you're nice to them in a way where you don't really understand how they work or something. It's kind of like the thing I was saying before, where it's like I thought girls wanted to be like Red Shakespeare under the willow tree by the lake. They don't want somebody who's like an asshole, but they want somebody who's confident in themselves.
Girls don't know what the fuck they want because they've been fed conflicting ideals for the last 50 years.
Yeah, I've heard that from a bunch of women. Where they're like, we really don't know what we want. But I think we've all been fed conflicting ideals about one thing or another. Like, who of us can say, like, we know what the fuck is going on in this world?
Well, like, society teaches us all to just go completely against our own biology, and it's just fucked us all up so bad.
Yeah, it's all a wonderful control network.
That's why we're just like a fucking depressed generation. The last couple generations. Everyone's depressed nowadays. Fucking 1,000 years ago, nobody had medicine or technology, but they were still fucking happy because at least they knew whether or not you're a fucking man or a woman.
Well, I think it comes down to like basically like making the choice of like whether or not you're gonna enjoy your life. I mean, like you can choose to focus on like all the shitty stuff, or you can choose to focus on all the good stuff. Like, and obviously that's easier said than done. It's not like you just turn on a light switch and suddenly it's like, oh, the world is like a happy fucking sparkly wonderland filled with rainbows and sunshine. But it's kind of like a gradual thing, because like if you think there's like no good in the world, you're gonna give up on ever looking for it, and you're just never gonna find it. So you're gonna basically manifest your own reality where the world isn't good and there's no hope, and you're just gonna like stew in that fucking hell until you fucking rot in the grave. But if you make the choice to actually look for it and see it and recognize it, then like bit by bit you start seeing that like, you know, maybe this place isn't completely hopeless after all. I don't know. That's been my journey over the last couple of years, because like I lived a point in my life where I didn't fucking care. I'm like, fuck it, I want to see everything burn, and now it's completely different for me. So. And I like the way it is now.
Burn.
Well, I want to see certain maybe.
No, I don't feel like I want to see everything burn. I feel like everything is already burning to the point where no one can really put it out. So I'm just gonna fucking enjoy the warmth of the fire and roast my weenies on it.
Sip wine with Caesar on the hill as room burns.
You know what I say? When the world becomes a circus, it pays to be a clown.
That's pretty much true. That's basically American politics in a nutshell. That's why Bill O'Reilly exists. Well,
I consider myself a clown. I mean, because in a circus there's clowns and freaks, and if you're not a clown, you're a freak. So I'd rather be the guy laughing at the freaks.
That's terrible. Oh, God. Fuck.
But, yeah, basically, you know, I need women, but I like video games. And I hate people.
You don't hate people. You like some of them.
I like people for about 5 minutes.
Carlos out. Very nice. Very nice.
You know what I was thinking of? I think I told you this before we started the Partycast. I don't know if I said it on the Partycast because I don't fucking remember what we talked about, but I told you how I just filled out an application to do like a real gig at like a venue for a stand-up comedy venue. And like, what I'm thinking, like, I mean, there's always a chance that I'll fucking bomb or I'll get heckled by some black guy because it's in Flint and fucking shot, kicked off the stage, and it'll just go horribly and it'll be awful. But assuming that it goes well, I want to end my set with Carlin's sports cheer bit from the 70s.
Which one was that?
Like and not like in a thieving way. I want to like if it all goes well, like if my jokes go over well and everyone likes me, then at the end of it I'll be like, you know, hey, this is my first time, so I'd like to commemorate it by doing an old Carlin bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Because I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's this old bit from the 70s or the 80s. I think it's the 70s. Like back when Carlin, like before he got like super into like philosophical stuff, and he was kind of into it, but still kind of like goofy and just kind of silly and for the fuck of it.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is a new cheer that I came up with for sports. It can go for football or basketball or Australian dick wrestling or whatever you want. Here we go, the Carlin cheer. Rat shit, bat shit, dirty old twat. 69 assholes tied in a knot. Hooray! Lizard shit, fuck! And that's just the whole bit. Rat shit, bat shit, dirty old twat, 69 assholes tied in a knot. Hooray, lizard shit, fuck.
Wow, that sounds like something I'd make up in grade 2.
Exactly, but it's hilarious. And if it goes well, that's how I'm going to end my set.
That's beautiful. Fucking Carlin.
Oh, that man, that guy. Well, you'd have to be a motherfucker.
You would.
Not to love the man.
You'd have to take fucking Carlin. How can you not love the man? He uses a dirty word. That's not funny.
Yep. Oh God, my mom said that to me today.
Oh, what?
I was like, yeah, I'm gonna probably do comedy at this place, and she's like, oh, that's great. You know, I think that you're funny, but maybe you should just like not use so many of the MFers or.
That's so weird.
Like, shut the fuck off with that shit, Mom.
Yeah, it's weird how people get offended by that kind of stuff.
I mean, not that I'd say fuck off with that shit to my mom, but fuck off with that shit, Mom.
Yeah. It's weird how we associate like different meanings to like these different sounds that we make. It's like fuck. It's like you can't say that, but you can be like beer. You can say beer in public. Everyone's fine with that word. How does that shit get started? Like, think of how long the F word's been around. The F word. Think of how long fuck's been around. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's been around longer than most. Did
somebody just like say it once? It's like, fuck, this is a bad word. Fuck, and everyone's like, wow, that does sound kind of bad.
I mean, people have been using it forever, and it's always mean the same thing. You'd think that it'd be like a classical, revered word.
Yeah. Well, I think in some ways it is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Good old fuck. Where would we be without it? I wouldn't be able to play video games online anymore if I wasn't able to say the word fuck.
I would be able to.
What?
I don't know.
Poop.
Definitely poop. Well, maybe we should wind up the podcast because I think we've talked about everything on our list. So.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I don't know. I guess that was fucking episode 4 of the Bitz and Booze Partycast. Organized as always.
Goodbye.
I could have been more drunk for it. I'm really sorry. I'm drunk, but I'm just not stupid drunk.
I'm not really that drunk. Fuck it. I'm too fat to get drunk.
Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that. And, of course, stay tuned for the next one where we will masturbate for 3 hours straight.
Oh, fucking finally. Goodbye.